everybody. Welcome back to the Sin Providence episode 3. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, and I got the whole cast and crew with me today. We got Dot, Bub, Josh, Maggie, and Tracy. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
We missed you last week, Bub.
Yes, we missed you.
It's okay.
I'm here now.
He's here coming at us from like a brand new rig.
Yeah. Oh, you got a whole new setup?
Whole new computer.
Oh, shit, dude. I know you got a whole new freaking rig. That's great.
Also, I feel like the
Yes,
angle
sir.
of the camera, it looks different.
Yeah, your
last
angle
time
is.
that-
It's the angle.
It's the angle, but it's nice. Look at those swanky bookshelves.
Yeah, it was. I don't
Dude,
wanna
your
talk about
office
it.
just is swanky in general.
I was say you built those. I'm
It
assuming.
only took me almost 40 years to get here, but we finally done it.
I got the bookshelves I've dreamed of.
Mhm.
One day I will join you in that dream, my good sir, and I will own a house and not have to rent. Don't worry.
I'm
Welcome
dying,
back.
Mathis. Don't do it.
I won't. I'm, not,
No.
I'm fully convinced at this point. I'm not even gonna lie to myself anymore. It's not even a dream. It's not even my reality. I will never own a home.
I've had that conversation with myself multiple times of being like, well, I'm probably just gonna rent for the
I'm
rest
just
of
gonna
your life.
be the old
I
cat
feel
lady.
that. I mean, this is the first year I bought a house too. It took me 21 years of saving, so I
Yeah.
feel it. I feel it. And I
Anyway,
think
let's
it's
have a happy
wild.
fantasy game
I'd,
about
I'd
vampires.
rather live in an RV. I'm gonna be
That's-
honest.
where they
with
can
y'all.
own property in this world. It's fucking
5,000
crazy.
resources.
Right.
That's why
Stuff
I
in
play
that.
tabletop games.
Right, let's go
because
into
I
World
don't
of
have to
Darkness.
pretend.
If Brian and I didn't have, if we weren't able to have kids, that was what we were gonna do. We were like, let's just buy an RV and
Just
like
Class
travel the
A,
world because we can
travel
work from
country.
home anywhere. We'll just get,
Yeah.
Starlink, do whatever,
Yep,
Yeah.
it's more and
true.
more viable. And I'll be honest, like, it's cheaper. I don't pay property taxes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Like, there's
yeah,
a whole
yeah.
bunch of reasons why it's great. But yeah, no, I'll, you know what? I'll just do what I'm gonna do for 4th of July and come crash at Maggie's house,
I know. I'm so excited.
crash at other
Or
people's
it's like,
houses.
I'm taking this room now. I'm
Yeah. Okay. Hi. You can adopt me too, Kay.
sorry.
Yeah.
You have to convince my husband.
Okay. Cool. I'm very convincing sometimes. Not all the time.
A lot of the time, you very much are very convincing.
Thanks, Mathis. I'll
Dude.
remind you of that later in today's
I will,
game.
we'll
Okay.
let you guys know
While you're
that
playing
without
Adventure when you played a toy.
without this group of people, my wedding would not have made it.
We
I
were
don't
we
think
were just
so.
reminiscing about that.
Tracy was like DJing. Dot was like managing everything. It was wild.
And of course, if it hadn't been for your cough cough stoner friend, you would not have had a lighter for that candle either. Oh God, that
That's a
day.
lesson, kids.
Yeah.
Do drugs.
No, the lesson is always have the stoner friend at your wedding.
But the
No,
problem is, I do have a lot of stoner friends, but a lot of them vape now, so they don't need
Yeah.
lighters.
Right. Yeah, I'm never without a lighter.
Yeah, my house is littered with lighters. Everywhere you look, there's one. Should we play Vampire, everybody? Hello. It was a weird start. Someone tried to use my account to buy some porn before we started this.
It was
It might
not
not have been
for, It was
porn.
not for only
It could
David,
have been
by
some-
the way.
No. Only David's. That's a great. There you go. That's a money making scheme.
Oh, I already
Right
told
there.
everybody was like, "Where do we get the art without the leaf?" And I was like, "That's on
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
David's account."
We should make
yeah.
an only David's account, and it's just like parts of Bub's character's body.
Actually, I'll
Dude.
just post pictures of statues throughout history. I'll just take parts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I went in my mind. I was
Go
like
to the British
just
Museum.
pictures of random dudes named David, just not naked, just
Yeah.
just walking, just or sitting eating dinner. It's just all
You have to
David.
get their
That, would that start
consent,
with
though.
Bub? Because Bub's
Yeah,
name
yeah.
is
No, I've already made that complaint. Like the fact
Yeah.
that
Greatest
Bub
part is
playing a
people are like,
character named
Bub
after
can't be
himself.
playing the character named David.
David.
That would be weird.
Oh man.
I already struggled calling you all the wrong character names, and now I'm gonna have the loop of like David. I mean Bub. Wait, no, actually, that's right.
That's
No,
correct.
I still
Yeah.
get freaked out. I still get freaked out when you say your name is Mike because I'm so used to calling you Math. I've been calling you
Everybody
Mathis
calls
for
him, man.
how many years? Like 18 years.
I
Hey,
made
just-
don't
him-
say that out loud.
I
18
asked
years.
Kirk to put Mike on the overlay instead of Mathis, so we're all required to call you Mike now.
Oh God.
I'm just
I
not
don't
used
like
to
it.
it.
I already
I've
call
known-
myself a
I've known
Illuminati
Mike for-
from
I don't,
day
like-
one, and Jesse and Alex still call me Alex. I'm Mathis. So like, I'm like, I can't shake it.
No, it
just-
has to.
branding.
2008. I feel
But
like
do
it
you
has to be
like
like
it?
2008 or something. Is it 2009? I don't know.
Oh,
It has.
I
It's a
started
long time
YouTubing
ago.
in 2011,
We've
so
been doing
probably
this a
right
hot
around
minute.
there.
Or right around there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
It's
trying
many
to-
years.
We
It's
are
just-
old.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
Only Bub is in my baby book. I've been Bub since before my
Wow.
own birth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, Mathews is
Aw.
just a World of Warcraft.
I feel like I call my kid Bub sometimes, like Bubba, Bubs.
Oh.
Mhm.
So I
It
can
just
feel
stuck.
that. Yeah.
My cat Ollie is now full named Oliver Hopkins. So
I love that.
Whenever Mike is
For
mad,
years
he's just
now.
like Oliver Hopkins.
Yeah, when I get yelled at, I yell
Get
at my
down
cat,
from that
me and
tree.
Jess will call him Oliver Hopkins constantly.
I
It's
love
like
that.
Stop
now it's his middle
barfing.
name.
And he
it's
absolutely
really
does it in
bad
the
as
Grant
butcher.
voice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I haven't done Grant voice since the end of the show.
I
Maybe
imagine-
let's do the intro in that voice. Go for it.
No, God, no.
Maybe he's come to Boston.
I was
Who
about to say, I'm
knows?
just waiting on some character that's.
He
Mathews
just was in
just-
Boston.
yeah.
I'm franchising.
I broke it
This
out.
is when we finally
You
find
laughed.
out
You
what
laughed. You laughed, but I had the
we
thought
finally
of, like,
find out which route he goes down. Is he venture?
Yeah.
Does he
Oh,
go?
Yeah,
does
did he ever
what?
change? Did he bail? Was he like, that's too much? I'm gonna go to Boston where there are no vampires. Psych.
Just
I
be
did
a
have the
ghoul?
thought of like, I wonder if the Lights Out Pub would franchise at one point in their future.
I mean,
It
the
definitely
Succubus
would.
Club did for vampires. It's
That's
a
why I was thinking,
franchise.
That's what made me think about it. It's like maybe you see a Lights Out
and
Pub at some point.
We
in-
had
in
talked about
Boston,
getting
who
a
knows?
character or a lore sheet, which is how the Succubus Club does their franchising. So who knows? You
Yeah.
might be able to get your own Lights Out Pub in your game.
Yeah.
You can tell when we all need friendship time.
Yeah.
The intro just goes too long.
Yeah, didn't
Anyway,
you
all right,
do
let's play
some-
video games. Let's play fucking
Let,
Vampire.
I did.
let's
I'm-
do this. Let's play
Yeah.
some
I made
Vampire.
part of the lore sheet for the Lights Out Pub, and there was
you
franchising
did,
options.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
a
how do we get
lore.
that on
There's a lore
Patreon?
sheet, right?
Which
Yeah,
is
and-
now
and-
for sale.
Where
I was
do
gonna
you
say,
get
they're
that?
not for sale.
What website do you get
Oh
all that?
look, we finally got to the shilling part. Yeah,
Yeah.
we Patreon. There are now things for sale, so you don't have to support us on Patreon to gain access to certain things that our Patreon supporters do. If you are a Patreon supporter, you're gonna get everything anyways. But for those of you who aren't, you can actually gain access to our lore sheets that we wrote up for SOS. Those are on sale right now over on the Patreon. You can pay for them by
Sick.
PDF. Yep.
People are saying Mathis and or
That's
Bub
right.
are
We're
quiet.
about to get
I
to.
might be.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Josh is a little quiet for me, for sure.
I'm always quiet. It's so annoying.
Fair enough.
I can.
Am I
can
quiet?
boost
Let me.
Join the
myself.
bump.
I,
How's
can, I was
that?
about to say I can boost myself some too, but I can't handle on y'all's end. So.
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
be good.
How do I
Okay.
sound?
Sounds fine to me.
Better.
Or yeah, I'll make
Sounds
sure
better to
chat's
me.
good. All right, cool.
You
Well,
all
we'll
have
keep
sounded
going.
good to me,
Yeah.
Right.
so I don't know
Hey,
what they're hearing.
They're still
Uh,
saying quiet, but like y'all, they are literally red.
Just jack the volume, guys. Turn it up. Jack up your volume.
It's redlining on my, and I
Yeah,
don't want to
is
blow
it-
out.
Is Zoom?
Yeah,
Does Zoom compress?
It's minor
It does
compression on Zoom.
compress.
Minor? Yeah, I don't know.
But see,
It's
they're,
not so
they're
bad,
coming
though.
through my headphones. They hear what I hear though,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is like it's whatever Dot is hearing.
and
so it's
y'all
weird.
are loud and clear in my ear.
You're good.
holes.
It's all good. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's
Okay.
let's do it.
Patreon.com/podbynight to support us. If you want to support us here at Twitch, you could just obviously drop us a subscription, which will allow you to watch the VOD immediately before it gets yeeted off this platform by Twitch because of weird restrictions. But if you miss the VOD and you want to watch it, it's also going up at our YouTube channel at youtube.com/podbynight, where the first 2 episodes are up there already, and this episode will make its way over there as well. That way you don't have to worry about Twitch kind of maintaining the VODs. I think for a while I'm going to make sure to let you guys know out there who are listening and watching that Twitch is changing their VOD system, so there's no guarantee like any of what we're doing now is permanently going to be staying on Twitch. So just be aware of that moving forward and kind of adapt accordingly depending on how you want to watch the show. But yeah, subbing on here also gives you the benefit of obviously directly supporting us, but getting you also the emotes for the channel, all that good stuff. And I think that's it. Is there anything else we want to cover that I want to jump into, or are we good to just jump into the game? I'm trying to think. Oh, shout out to the art. The art's done.
Oh
totally,
yeah!
right? This is our
Shout
first
out
week.
to
Yeah.
Andre who finished up our art. We got a
We
little.
love it.
Yeah, it looks really good. We've already seen a lot of comments. So actually, I'll go grab Andre's
Social media.
link so that y'all can just go show him some love on a platform. Like the art looks really good. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah, you stumbled across him because of Cobalt Press, right?
I did. He was actually in the Cobalt Press Discord and was just doing like
Awesome.
if you haven't seen his art store, like you should go look at his art. It's really great. He does a lot of character art for fantasy stuff. And just posted something, and I was like, "That's gorgeous. Do you take commissions?" Because we were right at the point of this, and I was just really impressed with his work. So
Yeah, Dot was sending us a bunch of their work, and we're like, yes,
yeah,
we like
this is
it.
the guy. Yeah, their
Yep.
art. Yeah, so
Did a
I'll
great
drop
job.
a link here in a second. But I think other than that, Mathis,
Cool, let's do it. then.
yeah, take us away. Put us in
without
the world of
further ado-
darkness, which is not as dark as our
Yeah.
real world.
Yeah, no, so that's surprisingly kind of better in a lot of ways. All right, yeah, without further ado, let's set the scene, rein things in, and see what our not yet coterie is up to. And as we begin today, where we left off last week, we will be rewinding time ever so slightly, not by any enormous margin. Was it even a full night that we got through, or was it 2 nights from last week?
It's technically one night, and then
One
the
night.
second night we were on our way to Salem. So we were So it was we just roused one time, if that's the question.
Yep. All right. Oh, thank you very much. Everybody roused
Oh,
for
damn it.
today.
You reminded him.
Damn it. Okay, well let me start with my
also go ahead
session.
and
I'm really hungry. I'm gonna eat you all.
Don't
fall
Yeah, we'll see
asleep.
what the hungers are after this. Yep. Also,
Oh,
everybody who
finally.
needs to remake sure you refresh willpower if you have yet to do so.
I think we all did our start of session healing. Nope, we didn't. Some of us didn't. Some of us didn't.
Okay. And nobody had a stain. That was last week, and Josh
Yep.
lost to humanity for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did everybody rouse
Over
their-
a crowbar. Can't get over that.
Like I
What's
said
your hunger
backstage,
at,
you know.
Tracy? What's everybody's hunger total right now? Because I can
I'm
only
at
see the one who
3.
failed, which is
I'm
Janet.
hungry.
3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Nobody's at a 4 yet. That's really what I care about. All right. Then, as our scene fades in, the distant and muted sounds of Boston traffic through the tunnels is kind of, I would say, distant in a way that feels almost underwater. And as our vision kind of comes to, we have a very close-up shot of a small hand, at least in comparison to what it's pressed up against. David's bare chest. Right where the space between his ribs, last we saw him, had come together and sort of, for lack of a better word, in a more crude way of portraying it, healed itself. And as he brings his hands back, David, you would notice that his hands were warm to the touch. Something that I'm not sure how David would know in his mind. And this is where I'm going to start asking you some questions that I don't think I would necessarily ask most other players in this situation.
Shoot, let's see it.
This is, I imagine, the first time you felt a warm hand touch you.
Likely, yeah.
Since you've been woken up, you've only dealt with the kindred within. You don't even know that's what they are. You don't even know if that's a term. But these others, these kindred that are, if any of them touch you, they were cold. They would have been, or they would have felt the same temperature as you. It would have felt equal. This would be the first time that a hand reaches out, and when they touch you, is extremely warm to the touch. My first question to you is: would he have a reaction to that? So as we, as our camera, like I said, is really close up in his hands right here, and as he brings his hand away, and our camera pulls back with it, getting a better view of you, David, who is 5?
It's on the upper sixes.
Okay, really tall, and this guy's not short, but not like, he's average. He's like 5'5", 5'4", somewhere around there, a little on the shorter side of average. So his hand's kind of more reaching up, and as he brings it down, our camera pulls back. We get a better look at this room that you're sat in, kind of lit by just the dim light of a couple of oil lanterns, surprisingly. And David, as you get a look around, whether you recognize the stuff or not, just to give you a picture of where you're at. This is a small abandoned office to remind you, deep, not deep, but underground on the south side of Boston in an abandoned subway area. And as you get a look at this kind of like little abandoned subway office, there's a couple plastic tables that are folded out, and he has electronics kind of just scattered everywhere. In some, to you particularly, I mean, does your character have any points in technology whatsoever?
No.
No. And his intelligence is a 2, which is like fine, it's average. You on some level, when you look at the stuff, there's an inherent understanding that you know that these are maybe for lack of a better word, but maybe you don't know the exact definition, but they look like computer parts. Whatever computer parts means to David, he knows they're at least computer parts. You just have this weird understanding of that. Beyond that, no specifics. And as you get a look around as the player, Bub, you like said you see a couple plastic tables. You see some some electronics kind of scattered. You see one laptop open, not on, but plugged in, and off to the right, another laptop that is clearly newer and in better condition actually have been pulled apart. And if you were to take a quick look, whether your character realizes it or not, he's clearly using parts from this newer laptop in this older laptop. There's some sort of like repair going on. But beyond the technology aspect of it all as well, you actually see other things that don't really make a whole lot of sense. You see a couple of hard drives that are, their wires come out, but instead of being plugged into anything, they come to a point where they touch, and then there's like a hemp rope that's wrapped around it and then tied in a knot. On the table, kind of scattered, there are a couple of candles. One of them is not used whatsoever, and another one's burnt down, basically down to its base. They're scentless. If you were to take a minute and maybe reflexively smell, you wouldn't smell like a scented candle or anything. And you see a couple other things like a switchblade that's open, sat on that same table. And you actually have a cult, so you can go ahead and make me an intelligence occult roll.
Sure. It's not a great roll.
Yeah, but you actually have a point in a cult, so there's some inherent understanding of it in some way in your character.
I got two successes.
And you have a rolled, not that you want to, but you rolled with failure. You can spend a willpower and re-roll that for failure.
I think two's fine.
With 2 successes, you can't put terms to it. It's not your character. It understands the differentiation between blood magic, mages, and all this other stuff. You just know what you're looking at looks like magic. That ritualistic, whether your character thinks it's magic in the way that we mortals in our real world understand it, which it kind of looks like a little shrine or a temple to technology almost in a weird way. Or if your character thinks of it in a different way, there's again, you rolled a 2. It just looks like magic in a weird way, but mixed with technology. And beyond that, there's a pile of clothing in the far corner, far as you can get in the small office, that clearly serves as his bed. As you look at it, it's not that it's all dirty clothes, but there's an indentation that runs through kind of like the middle of it where he clearly kind of lays down in that same spot over and over again. And other than that, other than some like wrapped food and some necessary water and stuff, that's basically all that's in this place. And as he pulls his hand back, I think the last thing that he said to you was his words were, there, that's better, like where it belongs. And when your wound sealed, so to speak, there was a sense of, I guess wholeness is the most rudimentary word. I'm probably looking for a word that doesn't really fit.
You said, "Now you are whole." I quoted it because I thought it was such a good line.
Perfect. Yeah. Now you are whole. And while you don't feel necessarily any different,
Right.
that stone is within you, and it's not like you can feel it rattling around. In fact, you don't feel anything. You don't feel it rhythmically thumping anymore like it was when it was outside of your body. It just feels still, but there's a safety in knowing that, or a secureness in knowing that the stone is actually in you at this point and not able to be taken away from you, as it's not in your bare hands. When you get a look at this guy, short, maybe shaggy black hair. He's got kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow at best going. He's a very scrawny, hasn't seen the sun, very pale, quite much like myself in real life. And he just has like these sunken eyes. And there's his eyes are erratic as they move up and down, you almost like taking you in as he steps back. And like I said, the last thing he said
Before he steps back, I want to stop him. Like after, like he put the stone into my chest.
Yeah,
and then he kind of like he patted, right? He did like it's like a job well done. My hand will kind of come up on top of his, like pressing his hand to my chest.
Sure.
Marcus, are you sick?
As you reach up and kind of press your hand up against his chin, give me a wits insight check.
Yeah.
Is that yeah, that's an insight.
Yeah. 3 successes.
You pick up as you reach your hand up and you actually like hold it to yourself. there's a momentary flash where his eyes do widen. Until you say what you say, there's fear, genuine fear on this guy that you can read plain as day on his face for even a brief moment. But with 3 successes, you pick up on it. And you say, "Are you sick?" Is that what you said?
Mhm.
Sick? No. Sick? No. Why? Is something?
You are so warm, like you are sick. Do you need a cold cloth?
I'm gonna make a roll for him to see if he understands why you're saying this. I rolled 3 successes. He does take a moment, like, and he does look genuinely confused. Before he goes, oh. No, I'm not sick. Fascinating. No, you and I are just different. I'm warm. You're not. That's all.
Would the clothes make me warmer?
You'd see him like begin to ponder for a moment. No, I don't think that's how that works. Look, I'm gonna apologize up front. A lot of the questions I think you're gonna ask, I don't fully know, but you're welcome to ask them.
Is it wrong to be naked?
I mean, that depends on who you ask.
There are a few people that did not like to see me, and I thought I was
Well-
ugly.
He looks you up down. It's like, no, you're different. Look, I don't have wings, right? And he reaches over and kind of like pats at his shoulders, but you do. Almost everyone that almost everyone. I don't want to lie to you. Everyone that I know, and any other individual that looks like me and you, I've seen, doesn't have wings. So you're gonna stick out, and people are gonna notice, and they're gonna look. In fact, you don't want that to happen though, because if they look, you might get caught, and like, I don't know what they would do with you. You're not gonna. Okay, we're going down to thought. That's a thought experiment. We don't need to go down. Putting on clothes if you leave this place is gonna be necessary. Look, why are we having this? You're here.
I came here.
Yes. Tell me, please sit. And he actually gestures over to like a little not cardboard, a wooden like crate that's clearly a little old, and he points at it. He's like, sit. What the fuck happened?
David would move over to sit onto it, and I imagine that it would probably begin to break, if not entirely break, under his weight.
You hear it creak and snap a bit, and but it holds for now.
I'm not sure that this is strong enough, Marcus.
Yeah, listen,
I'm sorry I broke your box.
You didn't break my box. Stop apologizing for anything. Stop. Listen. Okay. This is okay. Okay. Thoughts. Narrow them. Focus them. You are here, which is good because it means the failsafe worked. However, it's bad because it means the failsafe had to be triggered. Can you please walk me through how you got here, David?
I think so.
Him, as I say, think so. You see him begin to just pace, kind of back and forth. He doesn't really always pick his feet up. It's a lot of dragging and scuffing against the concrete floor as he paces. I don't know if that would really annoy David at all, but just for those of us who are kind of just seeing this from a camera's point of view.
I was in a room of all darkness. I couldn't even see. And then it stopped being dark. And I felt like I was alone until I heard the voices of Janet and Elle.
Okay.
I heard them speaking. They promised they wouldn't hurt me.
Okay. I mean, that's good. Okay. So then you were woken up by, how did they get? Okay.
I don't know how they found me, but they found me. And I think they were ashamed to see me, as I had to wear Leon's coat.
Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe
Leon
they,
was hurting Janet's sons.
what?
They put them in the back of a car. Maybe
Right.
the van. I think it was the van.
Okay. look, I'm not going to pretend I care. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want anything to do with what they are, what they want. The fact that they're the ones that.
They said that they had a package to deliver and that I was to go with them, but I needed to come here. I needed to see you, Marcus.
Right.
And when they said that they would not go there, I opened the door and I flew out. I fell out, and then my wings spread. You're pacing, Marcus. It's making me anxious.
No, sorry. Just keep talking. It helps me think. It helps me organize my thoughts. Yeah, there's just a piece that I don't understand. The stone, right? The thing in you, the rock or whatever.
Yes. Elle had it.
Right. That's the missing piece. I don't know how she got a hold of that.
I don't think it was for her. I think it was for someone else. She was supposed to pick up the package.
Yes.
Am I the package, Marcus?
Yes, David. Yes, you are the package.
Who was trying to pick me up? I
don't
imagine
know.
I'm very heavy based on this box.
Yes, you are. And I don't know, which worries me. And okay. I have a lot of thoughts, David, and you are asking me questions that require me to care a lot less about the things going through my mind and care a lot more about mundane things. I want you to stay here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Okay, fantastic.
I will have to leave soon, but I will come back.
Why do you have to leave?
I promised Elspeth that I would see her.
Right, so, okay. Soon?
I'm not sure. She did not say a time. They seemed like they were in a rush, and I'm not sure why.
Okay, David. Let me tell you a couple things that you're going to need to know, actually. You know what? That right there, that organized my thoughts extremely well. David, there might be things about yourself that you need to know that you don't necessarily know that I should tell you. Instead of worrying about how you got here, I need to follow the plan. Okay.
Well, why do
David.
you know about me, Marcus?
Well, David, don't you find it weird that you don't know anything?
No.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Can't miss what you don't know.
Am I supposed to know things?
Don't you find it weird that you know how to talk?
Is it supposed to be strange? It feels very natural, Marcus.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right? Is that too much? Am I
So
probing?
I know more than I know?
Isn't that interesting? Keep that thought in your mind. Now, beyond that, we'll get to that back point in a second. What I'm trying to say with that point is you're not like everybody else on the streets. You're much closer to what, well, the things that the people that brought you here are. The reason they were in a rush is because the sun is, well, it's almost morning. And when the sun comes up, if people like them are in the sun, they will die.
Oh no. That is bad, Marcus. We can't be the same.
I am
Would
not.
you die in the sun?
No, I'm not. Thank whatever powers there are, I won't. You will.
Why?
There's a moment where he looks like he's gonna say 5 different things at 5 different times, and he shakes his head. Yeah, I don't fucking know, honestly. I'm not.
That's okay.
Okay.
If I go into the sun, I'll die. I trust you, Marcus.
I mean, I'm glad. Yes. If you go into the sun, you'll die. The other thing you need to know is you're gonna feel hungry, I suppose. And when you do, the only thing that will make you not hungry, oh, this is gonna sound weird, is blood. Maybe this is a bit easier. Do you know what the pop culture idea of a vampire is, David?
Am I supposed to know?
That's not what I asked you.
Marcus,
make
I'm sorry. I'm not making you very comfortable. Would it
no?
be easier if you explained it like I was a child?
Buddy, I'm trying. Uh, they didn't they didn't prepare me for this really
Who
all
is
that well.
they, Marcus? Can they
So
help me?
yeah, they're gonna when they come get you, they're gonna. Um, you are how do okay so okay you're a vampire, which means you can't
I'm
go
a
out in the
vampire.
sun. You're a vampire. You can't go out in the sun. The sun will kill you. You will drink blood when you get hungry. You will never age, I think. And basically, most of you are just really fucking. You're just a bunch of dicks. You're a bunch of assholes, evil people. And you are
Marcus,
special like
Am
that.
I a dick asshole? Don't
No,
lie to me, Marcus. I will know.
you are not. You are not a dick asshole, David. That's why you're special. Um, you don't. I don't know what you are, other than a vampire, and even then, really don't fully know what that means, other than some basic stuff. But the important thing is it can keep you safe as long as you stay here, and hopefully soon, those who were looking for you are going to come get you, and you will be safer.
Why are they coming for me, Marcus?
Because you, my friend, are special.
You said that now, but you have not said why.
Because well, that's why you're special. Because I don't know. I think you're kind of new.
Hmm. I am definitely new. I feel new.
Right. You are. And you're not, right?
I
Like
don't know.
you know how to speak. You know what words mean. Most
I
things
do.
that are brand new don't know that. Like if I told you, hey, I have a baby. I don't. But if I said I have a baby, you understand the concept of baby, right?
I do.
Babies can't talk, but they're brand new.
Yes,
You're brand new, but you can talk.
I understand.
And you're big, unlike a baby.
I am. But I don't understand the hunger part. You said that I would need blood, but blood is in people.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask about that. I'm not one of you. I don't know. I'm just dealing with one of you for now.
Is there blood in me? Am I a people? Because you said I'm new.
Um, Good question. I don't know. I think there is blood in you.
How would I
I
find out?
um, let's. I am so tempted to find out. I mean, as anybody would, injuring oneself or splitting your own flesh. I don't know if you feel pain.
Marcus, is there blood in you?
Yes, there is.
What happens if I become hungry?
You will need to drink blood.
Is that not dangerous to be with me? Am I a problem?
Not yet. I am realizing very quickly I am wholly unequipped to answer a lot of these questions. David, I apologize. I'm not one of you. I don't know you all very well. I only learned you guys exist a couple years ago.
Then why are you handling this and not someone that is more equipped to handle this?
Oh, see that I can answer. I just don't think you would understand the answer, but I can try. Um, because I have a certain set of skills as he gestures to his broken electronics and hemp rope and whatnot that people don't go looking for typically, because people like me are usually not found to be very valuable. Anonymity in my own worthlessness And he smiles at that, almost like he put the pieces together himself just now.
Marcus, self-deprecation looks good on no man.
Okay, thanks. Point is, I can do some cool things that most people can't do, and others would find wholly useless. But in our very particular situation, in the very particular way we're dealing with things, it is valuable to be an intermediary for you. You have to understand, David, the plan was you were not supposed to come to me.
Marcus, what does deprecation mean and why do I know it?
Now, that is a fun philosophical question. What does deprecation mean, and yet you know it? So why do you ask what it means if you know it?
It felt normal to say that. Have I said that before? I feel like I've said that before.
You probably have, or at least David,
I need to find help, Marcus.
Yes.
I don't think that you can help me.
Thank you. I can't. I can help you stay safe. I can keep you here until
I'm
somebody
hungry.
You're hungry?
You can keep me here until I'm hungry.
It's not going to be a long time. Don't worry. It's not going to be. You're not going to get hungry in like 5 minutes, David.
I don't know. I'm afraid of what will happen if I become hungry.
You're going to be okay. You're not anywhere. You're able to speak to me without looking at me like I'm a sausage. So you're good.
I think I will be okay. I don't know if you will be okay, Marcus.
That's par for the course. Again, let me make it clear. I can't help you in the ways that you want me to help you. I can keep you safe. You weren't supposed to be here. However, you're here. It's a fallback. Safety. It's great. I've already put out the message that you're here. They will be here to get you.
Who is they?
I don't know their name particularly. We don't deal with real names in this business. Like my name, you can call me Magpie. Out loud. I know you know my name is Marcus, but you can call me Magpie.
Should I not call you Marcus anymore?
Yeah, just call me Magpie. It's probably safer, honestly.
It feels silly.
To
You're
answer
not
your
a
other
bird.
What? Yeah, that's the point.
You make no sense, Marcus.
That's fine. I don't need to. David, the reason you know words is because before you are what you are now, you were somebody else. Just like Janet and Elle, they are vampires, but before they were vampires, they were people like me. You were a people like me once. You don't remember, and I don't really fully understand why. They didn't tell me why you would be a blank slate, just that you would be if you showed up. But that's just, I assume it has something to do with that. So you know the word deprecation, language, likely because you were a people, you person, like Elle was, like Janet was.
Marcus, if you are different, and then they know that I am here, will you still continue to be here, or will you run away?
Oh, as far as I'm planning on staying here. So, I mean, he gestures. I don't know, may not look like much, but I love it. It's comfy.
Do you need protection?
No. You ask some very weird questions, man.
Marcus, I am very strong, and my skin is very hard.
Yeah. Yes.
Your skin is not.
No.
I watched the way that it moved on my chest. You're very warm and soft like Elle. And I'm not. I am cold. I'm dense like stones.
Your kind run the gamut. Some of them are scary looking too. You're like walking corpses. It's weird. Listen,
I just want to know if I need to stay to help you, Marcus.
You need to stay. The way you can help me is by staying simply so that when they come for you, they come get you. And then you just go with them.
But you won't even tell me their name.
Because I don't know their names.
What do they go by?
Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that to you. Let's clarify something. Are you okay waiting for them to come get you before you go see Janet? Or Elle? Who'd you say you were going to see?
I would be seeing Elle.
Cool. Can you wait? Can you do that another night?
From what I've been told, morning is coming soon.
Yeah.
And I am sick from light, so that I
Right.
should stay inside.
Yes, but tomorrow night, you can stay here. They'll be here to get you tomorrow.
Can I come back?
Can you not go see them later?
Can I come back to see you?
Yeah. I don't.
Okay. I don't know if I will stay. I promised Elle that I would see her.
Right. Are you?
Marcus, she had my stone.
I know.
And you
I
put my
know.
stone in my chest.
Why? Oh my God. I'm sorry. How am I supposed to stop you? They didn't tell me you were going to fucking have like free will.
Marcus, you can't stop me.
Oh, that's a little fucking scary. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. I know I can't stop you.
You can come with me.
No. I'm good.
We could fly.
No, I'm good, David.
Okay.
I imagine, that your character would have no understanding of the idea of like when the sun comes up, you immediately go to torpor and you don't willfully resist it.
No.
So probably at this point, as you're like, okay, it's in a moment, all of a sudden David would just go into torpor. The sun would be creaking over the horizon at this point. And yeah, it would feel like a blink to David. And that's how it's going to feel for us as well. You, for a moment, kind of go, you wake up on the floor. We'll just say you blink and you're on the floor. Can I get a wits awareness from you, David? And nobody needs to make me a rouse check. This was for this night's rousing. I got to make a roll too.
I had 5 successes.
Oh Lord. 1. You look around, as you get up, as you open your eyes, you see like a piece of like plywood, clearly blunted and broken, kind of like off to the side. You don't. That's all. That's all I'll say. As you kind of wake up, you see David actually nowhere. He's not standing where he was. He's in his pants and all that's the same. He's in a different t-shirt. And he's you can hear he's hunched over one of the tables as he's working on one of his electronics. To you, David, like I said, it would just feel like a blink. Like all of a sudden you blinked and now you're in everything moved, like missing time abduction alien style.
I'll stand. I can't imagine that David is very quiet about
Okay,
it.
yeah, you just kind of stand up and making your way, maybe moving the crate out of the way. Marcus would whip around. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. You're alive. Thank fucking God. I thought you would be. Wasn't sure. You guys are weird when you go to sleep.
Marcus, we were just talking about flying. You are Magpie.
Yeah.
We're supposed to fly.
Right. That was last night. Hey, a whole day has passed. Sun went down. I mean, sun went up. Sun is back down. So you don't dream?
That fast.
So no dreaming then. You don't feel like you slept.
Then it is dark now.
Yes.
We were just talking about flying. I asked
Right.
you to go see Elle with me.
Right. And in that conversation, the sun must have come up, and you honestly just looked like a corpse in front of me. You just kind of fell over dead.
But I'm alive.
Right. That's the weird thing about you all. Yeah.
I also have to give Leon back his coat.
Okay. Well, you can do that after they come get you and you talk to them, okay?
Are they like me?
No, David. I think that's the point. I may not know much, but all I know is you are different, even from them in some way.
Are they vampires?
Yes.
But I don't know them, therefore I can't trust them.
Something like that?
And you don't want to tell me their names, because you don't trust them either.
No, well, actually, yeah, kinda. Okay, so like, David, I'm gonna be honest with you, David. Can you keep a secret, David?
Who will I tell, Marcus?
The people that come to get you,
Okay,
don't.
I will keep a secret from them.
I'm nearly as confused as you are. Okay, I haven't been in this shtick for very long, few years. I have some fascinating abilities, and I ruined and lost my entire life over it, and I'm here. This is a big payday for me. And if everything goes really, really well, I won't ever have to worry about being in trouble or danger again. I can now see why I'm getting paid very well, but I'm still not done with the job until you leave with those who are hiring me. Knowing or giving their names to you is a risk because I don't know what you are capable of. There are those out there that with a simple name can do a lot of damage.
Marcus, are you my friend?
The closest thing you have to one right now. I don't know. Maybe
Then,
I'm too
as your
honest.
friend, I think it is important to tell you that if they are like me, maybe not exactly like me, but they are vampires like me, then they may also see you as only food or a means to an end.
Yeah, I understand. It's a risk. It's a risk whenever you deal with your kind. I've done it a couple times in smaller ways. This is the first big one, and I'm well aware. I've prepared best I can for any potential violent actions from them. But it's still money I can't turn down, man. The world is run by whatever it's run by, but money is still king. And I can't keep myself safe without it. I'm
Will
not
they
like
hurt
you,
you
right?
if I'm not here?
I don't know.
I must keep my promise with Elle. But if they will hurt you, then I will stay.
Uh, what's insight, please?
Sure.
Messy critical, but still critical. You immediately know when he says, "Yeah, they'll get violent with me." He's lying. You don't know if he's lying because he knows they're not going to be violent with him, or he just doesn't know. But the confidence in his voice is pure show when he says, "Yeah, they're gonna. If you leave, they are gonna hurt me."
I could tell when Janet was lying to me, too.
Dave, I'm gonna be real. I don't know how to fucking talk to you, man. I don't. For every moment I believe I'm about to have a real conversation with you, you come back with me like you're a toddler's first understanding, which is fine, I guess. But I
Marcus,
don't know. I don't.
friends don't lie to friends.
That's a lie right there. That's a lie right there.
I would never
Sometimes,
lie to you,
sometimes
Marcus.
friends have to lie to friends.
I would never lie to you.
No, you don't know that, David. You're less than 24 hours old.
I know that I would never lie to you. Even if it meant lying would make you happy, I would never lie to you.
Okay. Well, good for you, buddy. We'll see how long that lasts. Are you going to leave?
If it makes you unhappy, I don't want to leave.
Well, you find yourself in an impasse. If you don't leave, you make me happy, but you'll be making the other unhappy. But if you do leave, you make me unhappy and the other one happy.
Marcus, you said that we do not age.
Right.
If we do not age, then I can go see Elle and I can come back and see them too because they will not age. They will not have to worry about waiting. Then I can come back and see them.
Oh, you think people care because they're getting older?
Do you not worry about getting older?
I mean, I do because I age.
That feels like weakness.
I get to keep my soul, so it's a benefit.
I think I will go see Elle.
Okay. I was just waiting for you to make a decision.
I promise to come back.
Yeah. Okay.
If you need money, I can try to find you money.
Very tempting offer. I have never had a more awkward, stilted, uncomfortable conversation in my whole life. And my dad tried to teach me about sex when I was 13.
You put your fingers in my chest.
Okay.
It's just as weird for me.
No. David, I did. You're walking around able to talk with me because of the thing in your chest. You lose that, you don't get to walk and talk anymore. Okay? So if you go see Elle, if you go see these other people, and they try and take that from you, understand the ramifications of that.
If they try to hurt me or Elle, I will kill them.
Okay.
You said that I am new.
No, yeah.
Because I am new, I do not know fear like you. They've given me nothing to fear other than a lack of money for you. You do
Yeah.
not need money to live. Maybe to eat, but not to live. I'll be back, Marcus.
Okay. Yeah. I'll walk you to the door. And he takes 2 steps and opens the door.
I promise to be back.
He waves. Do you just step out?
Yes.
Our camera will linger with Marcus in this moment. As it hangs and we see David get more and more out of focus, and eventually he leaves. There's a few beats until we see Marcus kind of look to his right, and out of a different, like, kind of just abandoned area and hallway, another individual walks into view. There's our camera will pan to the front of Marcus's face, and we just see him give a understanding nod to this individual, though we never get a good look at the individuals in the background. And we hard cut. Janet, Elle, fuck, the rest of you.
Leon,
Betty,
Betty.
Leon, yeah. I was gonna call you your other old character names. My brain was just like trying desperately to call you Saito and Emmy. As you approach, you were driving to the store.
To the shop, because we were told when we
Salem
visited
store.
Magpie that that's where he was going.
Well, that's yeah, well, because that's what.
Or that's the assumption, right? Is that
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
find Elle, and Elle should be at the shop. That was the location Elle gave him.
Did you give?
Gosh, if
okay,
Emmy was
you
in this
gave him
car
the-
with this group, would be fun.
I could tell him about my shop.
Yeah, she told him the name of the shop and where
Yeah.
it was, or at least like Salem, so that he could come find her. That was the promise.
So as you approach this shop, way outside of Boston city limits at this point, was there any discussion any of you wanted to have in the car amongst yourselves as you approached the shop? You drove. I remember there was a drive check and you drove You hit someone.
Oh
rolled
yeah,
the
I'm in
bell.
full soccer mom mode. Like, we got places
Yeah.
to be. We're trying to beat him there because I promised, Janet promised, Elspeth that she would aim to not get her in trouble. That we would arrive when the package arrived.
As we approach the store, then, why don't you give me another? You may have done it already once, Tracy. Give me a description of the outside of what the shop looks like.
Yes. So it is it's off the main strip of Salem, down one of like a side streets where it gets a bit more neighborhoody, and a little less like all, storefronts that are more touristy. So it's like off the main tourist area and like this little like older cobblestone street. And you just see this shop. It's it almost looks like the storefront is in maybe an old house or something, and probably haunted. It's just old and
filled with colonial style buildings out
exactly,
there.
Exactly. Yes, very pretty, in a residential area, and it's got like a cute little sign on the front of it with some like little like herbs or plants, and then there's like potted plants on the outside of the shop as well. So yeah, that's what
Salem.
It looks like.
I mean, Salem also is money, man. Like this place is filled with like just the rich, well-off people out here.
Yep.
And as you approach, you kind of see this coming to view. We have a lot of like the warm orange glow of the street lights out this way that kind of pass in a very rhythmic pattern. With your driving check from last session, you get there just before David would arrive. And is there anything that Elspeth would want to tell everybody as you approach about the store? Is there anything that you would want them to pay attention to or do or don'ts?
Yeah. So everybody, firstly, there's no parking. So you're gonna have to park a couple of blocks away. And then we're gonna have to walk over. And the shop is usually closed in the evenings, but we stay open a couple of hours into the night, but it'll be closed. And just don't stare. That's all.
What?
She doesn't like it when you stare at her.
Now,
what qualifies
Janet,
is staring?
What am I supposed to look at if I can't look at her?
Eye contact is just good business.
Janet, now you've dealt with her sire before, but I'm assuming it's always been almost like by phone or something. Not
well,
phone, but,
I leave that up to her. Janet would probably want to communicate the way that her sire would want to communicate. You know what I mean?
Then
like,
I imagine
then
I will default. I will default to Tracy. Then your sire probably when dealing business with more Camarilla like kindred within the city like Janet. Do you think she does it more via like communication via distance, runners, or what have you, or would she meet them in person?
Yeah, has she met Janet? Would she have met? Yeah, I think maybe you might be familiar with her, but she does normally wear a veil, so you've never really seen her face.
Oh, okay. So then I just say out loud, well, it's not going to make much of a difference since we can't see her face.
Yes, I know, but just, don't make it weird.
Right. Be polite. Remember we talked about being polite?
Yes, exactly.
So that's the speech. Don't look at her. Is there anything else she wants to make sure like everybody knows, or is it pretty much good?
Everything else should be good.
Okay. Did everybody get your stuff? I'm going to lock the car door.
Yeah, you park.
I do the whole mom thing. I'm like, don't leave anything in the car because I am not paying for a broken window.
This is a nice neighborhood.
Oh, please.
And it's early enough in the night where the streets are still, there's people walking and people are doing their late night dinners. It's a beautiful temperature out right now. What season did I say it was when we began this? Was it spring? Spring or summer?
Took poor notes.
Yeah, it's all right. I forget.
Maggie may be the note.
But as you walk, you walk in the streets and you don't look at a place amongst anybody else out in Salem, especially. You all three
Nightshade and Blooms is the name of the store.
Yes.
Nightshade and Blooms.
Yes.
I love the name.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
No problem.
All four of you, go ahead and make me a wits awareness check as you approach. Though, as you're walking from the car, the few blocks to the store. I kind of imagine too, your shop is like at the it's like the last building on a dead end street. Too.
Yeah,
like it goes through a street that's a dead end, and right at the end is your little store. I heard a lot of no's.
No.
Let's see. Elspeth 2, Janet 1. Man, Janet, you do
Jenny,
not
only have 2 dice
That's rough.
for wits and awareness.
Yeah, because it's only my wits. Awareness is not my thing. I'm a businesswoman. Still selling the open. I'm not.
Betty makes sense to have rolled fucking 5. And Leon as well is pretty much paying quite a chunk of attention as
Also,
well.
for those of you who are super junkies and have read our character sheets, I had messed up my wits and resolve. They're swapped.
Yeah.
So.
Now they're better now.
Now, if you wanted me to,
It makes more sense for my character. It's all wits related, so I don't
Right.
know why I did that.
Now, if you wanted me to roll an insight about all of these suburban housewives walking around, I could insight the fuck out of them.
Yeah, you can read a person.
But
easily.
I,
That's fair. That's fair.
So then Betty and Leon only with your rolls. As you're walking, you would have caught something would have caught the corner of your eye, and as you looked up, you would actually see David flying high enough in the sky where most people would probably just write it off. Most people aren't looking up like that when they're walking the streets anyway. But you just see David wingedly gliding past you as he's approaching the area that he was told to go.
And look at
There's something up in the sky up there. I think our friend that we're looking for.
We're going to have to buy him a car.
what car is he gonna fit in?
Like a Humvee.
A Humvee? How are you gonna park that on the streets of Boston? He doesn't need a car. He's got wings.
Yes, but the masquerade needs him to have a car. This is part of the conversation
the
we need to have.
masquerade needs him to put on some clothes and okay, you know what? The package arrived. Look, air delivery, freight drop.
The way he is and flying sounds like a fantastic way of getting from one place to the next.
Okay, as long as he's here, that's fine. Good driving.
You should be the first one through the door, and you should go meet the package since you know.
Okay, yes. Let me
I'm just
go.
one talk. Just don't want to look at them.
Let me
Can I look at her feet?
I don't know if you want to be asking that question.
Yesiah's feet.
She's
She's still worried about how
tired.
she's gonna talk to her without looking at her.
Yes, you can like.
My
You know what?
Tracy both like, who's?
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Why don't you go?
What are you talking about?
You go get David before we cause a scene, and you know what? Betty and I will work on the logistics of communicating with Yesiah.
Okay, I'll go get him.
So you're all you're going to where he's going to be landing,
Yeah.
which is out front of the store. I imagine you turn the street. I want to name this street that their store's on too. At some point, as you turn the corner, unless you have a name for it already.
I don't.
Okay, so as you turn the corner on this dead end road, and at the very end, you see the
Oh, it's
small
gotta have an
shops
Irby
kind of-
name.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna pull up street
exactly.
names in Salem.
Yeah.
There's still people walking. I mean, this is when you do your most business usually. David, when you land, much like before, I'm imagining there's not much difference. It's pretty just like get close to the ground and then drop. Okay, no attempt at like hiding anything. I imagine. I'm not gonna make you make a roll. As you guys turn the corner and are walking the street, you would see him before he lands as he's like plummeting to the ground before he lets his wings just like open again, catching the wind, acting like a parachute, almost reflexively for you, David. And as you do so, that wind catches you, so it like softens your land. But as you hit the ground, immediately you see he is already being filmed and swarmed by about 5 or 6 people, and they are like, "Holy shit!
Oh,
That's it, dude! This is fucking insane! Holy shit! I've never seen. What is this for?
Oh,
is there
God.
and like so as people are surrounding you, David first. I want to. How do you react?
Oh boy. I look back at the rest of the group.
I imagine you hurry up as you like
Yeah.
scurry over. But I just want to know what David's initial reaction is. 5 or 6 people walk up. A couple of them have their phones out and are recording you.
Have you seen Elle?
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Okay, everybody.
is this a Stranger Things promo? Oh, fuck! That's so cool.
You know what? You know
I
what?
get
Okay,
it.
Janet said, you know what it is, and right now you're ruining the shot. So I'm gonna need all of you to put your cameras down, or we're taking you to court. And I'm just gonna.
This is Netflix, okay? We'll see
while
you.
Janet's doing that,
Janet.
Was Leon gonna do anything too? Because I heard Leon.
Betty's
do
gonna
something
go
too.
Oh,
over
yeah.
to David and like put her arm around his his arms.
What were you gonna do, Leon? Sorry.
So I'm going to like try and corral these people
Gotcha.
and alongside Janet and be like, okay, guys, we need to clear some space. We need to clear some space. And you
So-
need to forget what you have seen here.
I was like, he probably
And
has
I'm going to use dominate on them.
Great.
I was like, because he probably has the guys whipping the camera. I was like, guys, I might be meeting Finn Wolfhard, like, just starting to like being super excited. And as soon as he's about to, you say forget.
I'm going to put one hand on the camera and one hand on his shoulder.
Because you can only do one at a time. You can't do a group like forget, right?
I know I'm not that good yet.
Okay, and then while you're doing that to him, that's when Janet is doing her.
Janet is just gonna, with her best presence role with her voice, she's gonna literally just say to all of them, basically daunt them and say, "Everybody, drop your phones."
Yeah, because you're threatening legal action
Drop
and all
them.
that stuff.
I just want them to drop them from their hands.
Go ahead and if you're not doing any powers, right?
I am, but I do not have to rouse for this one. It's another free, so
Sure.
I'll just remind you.
Yeah, this is the one that adds your presence roll to your manipulation persuasion, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Because you're basically using daunt and stuff.
So manipulation, persuasion. Oops.
Plus presence.
Actually, this is really. Oh no, I can't rouse. That would be bad for everybody. Let's not do that. We'll hold off. I'm getting hungry and hangry. I'm in like full mom grump mode. I only add 2 to this. Okay. Have a 7.
Yep. Oh God, yeah. Everybody, when you
Clatter.
you threaten legal action. You like drop your phones now, clear the area. Like you do hear one or two like actually literally drop it, while the others kind of just pocket it, understanding like you don't mean literally drop it.
And I look to Leon and go, keep going. You got to work through every person. So he's keep going.
So you say forget, and he's like, forget what?
It doesn't really matter.
Dude's got wings.
I look over at Elspeth and I go, maybe we take our, agenda inside.
Hey, I just wanted to make note. I did say I was trying to do something.
Oh, go ahead.
So,
What is Betty also doing?
When they both went to like take care of the people, I was putting my arm around David, and I was about to get him to get out of there.
Oh, you're taking him
inside
inside.
very, very quickly.
So, I would imagine these things are happening simultaneously. I just want to make it that clear before that guy started
yelling. They wouldn't go, you have wings or anything like that. Yeah, no, so Betty would put your arm around you.
I put my arm around David, and I'm like,
Oh, come here, darling. What happened to your coat?
I was bringing it back for Leon. It's Leon's coat.
Ah, I see. Well, perhaps we can do less flying for the time being. Come with me. I know where Elspeth is.
You are cold. You're not like Marcus.
Who's Marcus?
Marcus is Magpie, and it's Marcus.
Betty smiles with a giant grin on her face, and is like,
Well then, that is good to know. I have met Magpie.
Marcus is warm.
What else do you know about Marcus other than his warmth?
and Betty is just walking with him and guiding him to
and
Elsa's
as you
store.
walk in, and then so you see Leon. That's when as you go, so the camera is almost like a wonder, right? We start first with Leon grabbing the guy with the camera and saying forget. As you do, our camera spins and pulls back, and we see Janet addressing the larger crowd of saying, everybody fucking drop your phones, legal action, going off and ending what that civilian said. As she does so, we kind of go around the other side, and that's where we see Elspeth already walking into the building with Betty with her arm around David, speaking as he gestures inside. And as you go inside with David and Elle, Betty, and the door shuts, our camera lingers on the outside as we pull back again. And now we see Leon going to the next person and doing forget. And then I'm assuming that you tell them to walk off, and each one kind of just.
Yeah, so basically, if they dropped the phone, Janet picks it up and deletes whatever footage or images they took while
my question was like,
clears them.
You could probably just tell them delete your
I'm
fucking footage right now.
As of this moment, everything you have on your phone's illegal. You're going to listen to this man, and you're going to delete anything that you've taken in the last 5 minutes.
And with the roll you made and the crit you made, there's no fight, there's no argument. Everybody does as instructed out of fear of being brought to court and not wanting to deal with that shit. So you watch footage get deleted, everybody, you make sure, go through every single phone. You particularly just have them go through it because you can't make the touchscreens work.
Sure.
But you clean it all out. Leon goes individual to individual, forgetting. This is your simple one, right? Compel, it's free.
Yeah, it's cloud memory, so it's
cloud
everyone.
memory. Yeah, cool. And when you do so, and it takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes total to disperse what would have been a horrendous masquerade breach, but it was a quick thinking and good maneuvering. And when they all cleared, you all Janet, you look around and maybe even Leon, you realize without even speaking, you all kind of just took care of it. But it was like you guys work. I don't know. You have your issues with the way some of these kindred you work with act, but damn, when push came to shove, that shit was like a greased wheel.
I kind of look over at Leon and I go, I don't exactly know what the cloud is, but can you make sure, nothing made it to the clouds?
Oh, I can make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
You take a moment. You're like,
yeah,
no,
I straightened myself after,
breach.
and I'm like, okay, we've cleaned up the mess, phones are gone, people are gone. And I just kind of looked at Leon staring at the outside of the shop because they've already gone in.
Yeah, everybody just kind of went inside.
And I go, I'm going to be really honest with you, Leon. It's not looking so good for us.
We're going to have a lot of work to do very, very quickly, very, very soon. I think... How good are you a teacher?
I'm a mother. I'm the best teacher there is. What do you want to learn?
Really answer my question.
What?
No, I'm talking about David.
Oh, David's gonna need more than a teacher.
Yeah, well, I've got some ideas. Do we knock? Is there like some...
Well, since it's just me and you out here on this creepy street corner, I'll just let you know. It may not be up to us what happens to David, and we all need to just accept that.
Well, there was a lot of conversation about David deciding what to do with David.
Yeah, by people who actually have no control over that creature's life.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can convince him to do anything.
Precisely.
He seems like a child.
So, I'm just going to be an audience. I'm just here to watch.
I'm not.
What are you here to do?
I'm here to figure out what he is and maybe... I don't know.
Why do you care?
This is all very new to me. But in some ways, it feels like the same fucking thing that I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Is Janet aware of your clan?
I don't think so. I don't think it would have ever come up.
No, unless it was ever directly asked, and but it doesn't necessarily matter.
I hate being the bearer of bad news. She says that loving being the bearer of bad news. But considering the fact that you have somebody's out there, with a death threat on your life, maybe you should be worried about your own well-being before you're worried about his.
I am deeply tied to the events of the last 2 nights, so if we clean it up, we're all safe.
All right, kid, you keep telling yourself that. Come on.
I can do
How
my
old
best.
is Leon? Kindred, yeah.
As a kindred, 5 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're a big old baby.
also a baby.
Janet. Yeah. In a way, yeah, very similar to David.
As my mother used to say, that's my name, don't wear it out.
Gave me flashbacks.
Right. I don't know how... Oh, sorry.
No, please.
How useful I'm going to be this evening. I've slipped back into some bad habits, and I might be a little bit distracted at times. So,
Leon, you're always a little distracted, kid. I mean, it's kind of the reason I keep you around, because I don't have to worry about you seeing every small detail. No offense.
That's fine. I'm
but when you say slipping,
I've just been seeing a couple of things, and
it
normally takes a little bit of concentration.
Not just the winged naked man?
I'll be honest, I didn't know how real he was.
Okay, that maybe is a problem for another day, but I appreciate, your honesty. Leon, honey, maybe, tonight, when we go inside here in just a second, I'll give you a little piece of hard-earned venture knowledge.
Go on.
Keep your mouth shut. Great business.
There's a moment where he lingers, waiting. There's more to it than just
yeah,
that.
and she says, great business is done by listening, not by talking.
Hopefully I won't have to do any business, but...
Honey, every night you get up
No
out of
talking.
torpor, you're doing business. Whether you like it or not, all life is business. I guess what I'm saying is, much like down at the docks when I told you sometimes the answer in front of you is not actually the answer you're looking for. You know, what's in the box is not as important as the person who wants to pick it up. I think this is going to be one of those situations. So just, listen.
Understood. I don't really know what this place is anyway.
It's a shop. It's one of those, like, tchotchke magic shops. Yeah, I know,
Ew.
me too. Come on. Yeah, both of us kind of make distinct faces. A little out of our comfort zone, but we're here to support Elspeth.
Yep. So you both open the front door. A little bell jingles as one would do at the shop.
that too.
Right there.
Yeah.
And do you have the sign to closed right now? Like when you walk in, LL, knowing who you have, you don't see anybody in here shopping immediately. Would you
Right.
close it to close?
Yes, I would close shop.
Okay. So, you walk in, you hit close. Janet and Leon stay outside and chat for a little bit. As they finish their conversation, Janet, annoyingly, from just behind you, you hear a young girl's voice say, "Excuse me, ma'am?"
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was for me.
No,
Just
to
kidding.
Janet,
I-
to
oh,
Janet.
Oh, to
Outside.
Janet. She
Janet.
goes,
For a moment.
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Do you know when Finn Wolfhard's going to be here?
I'm sorry, who?
Are you filming over here? I heard somebody say that we're filming, and I heard maybe I could meet Finn Wolfhard.
I look over at Leon like, oh, fuck. I make direct eye contact. And I look at her and I say, honey, I'm about
And she's
to...
like, I don't know, she's like 17, 18.
I'm about to do you a favor, okay? For me and for you. Instead of being
You just look like a glint of hope. when you
yeah,
say
and
that.
I
You're
look
like,
right in her eyes and I go, I'm a talent scout. I can tell you got talent, kid. Stop worrying about stalking people on set and go out there and make your dreams a reality, yeah? So piss off.
There's a moment where it's like hope being built, and you're like, so piss off.
Piss off
then-
at a six
Yeah.
messy. Get the fuck out of here.
So you see the hope build as you immediately just say piss off, and she interprets that as you were kind of lying, and you see a broken sadness as she turns and leaves.
What if I didn't do it? Somebody else was gonna. I look at Leona, a smidge guilty, but not really feeling bad.
And then you walk into the front door.
Better that she remembers something than nothing.
As long as she don't remember the winged naked man. Let's go.
So as you step in, obviously, both Betty, Elle, and David are already walking their way to the back room. When they walk into the front door, how does the front of the store look? We kind of briefly looked at it in the first time around, but as people are walking through it now, like there's are there things that people can pick up and like I'm assuming, do we see gemstones,
Crystals, yeah.
mortar pestles and different kinds of herbs?
There's more than just tchotchkes. Thank you very much. No, there is, yes, but there.
Tarot reading corner.
Yes, exactly. All of that stuff. The mystical
how
stuff.
Quaint.
It is actually very quaint. And there are just plants everywhere. Just growing. It is a nice little greenhouse. It's actually a little warm in there. But yeah, it's very cozy.
Now it's you and your sire and two others?
Yes, there are two other women.
Which do you know? Would there be one that would man the front desk more than the other, or would they have like kind of interchanging?
I think it's kind of interchanging shifts.
Gotcha. Did you write names for them down? I forget.
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. Would you? I can name them if you'd like. I can go and make them, or would you like to give them names?
Yeah, I hate naming. So if you would like to name them, that would be great.
Yeah. Do you? Are they both women?
They're both women, yes.
Okay.
And one is a ghoul and one is a retainer.
Okay, but is the retainer aware of the reality of their situation?
Yes, correct. Yes, they're in on it.
Okay, yeah. No,
they're all in on it.
Understood.
Yes.
One will be named here. Let me open up my character Bible. No, so I don't fucking forget real quick. Word. Player character. There it is. Okay. One will be named. How old are they? Do they look?
Probably in their 20s, both.
Both of them like early 20s?
One early 20s, one later 20s.
Okay. One is named Kaya.
Okay.
Kya. And the other one is named Ivy. Ivey.
Ivey. Okay.
Ivey.
Okay.
And the one manning the desk right now, we'll say, is Ivy. And she has naturally bright, gorgeous red hair. That's long and it flows down just past her shoulders. And I imagine she's wearing kind of like a black, almost like gothic sort of style dress. Mm-hmm. My fashion sense isn't great, so I'm not entirely sure what it looks like. But you can describe it if you'd like, what you imagine her wearing. And I don't know, would she have anything else in her hair, do you think?
She probably has her hair tied back in a bow and wearing like a black lace dress, but not like fancy lace. It's just kind of like a lace, like little, almost like sundress.
Yeah. And she's got like just like deep blue eyes that contrast her red hair. And as you walk in, you were the first one to walk in, and she would smile pleasantly and be like, did they call you Elspeth, or anything else in particular? Because you are a kindred, they are not.
Yes. They would usually call me Elle, probably. Yeah.
So you would just see Ivy at the front desk. She'd give you a bright, wide smile. That is genuine. There's no like, I need you to roll wits insight to tell if she's like lying. She's very pleasant. Elle, I was wondering if we'd see you tonight. And then as the others walk in, she looks over at David as he steps in with Betty, and her eyes look at Betty maybe for a split second before they lock onto David, and they do not break away. And you can wits insight this if you'd like. Betty, you too, of course.
Let's see.
And David, you too, obviously. Okay, 2 for Elle. 2 for Betty. David.
Critted.
I mean, we'll say with 2, it's not like she's hiding it. Clearly, David is very handsome. David, she is eating you alive with her eyes right now.
Oh God.
She is looking you up and down, taking in every aspect of you. Not only are you unique, you looking in that you are different than most kindred, that especially that she's seen. Never mind what you guys have seen, but you are also like uncannily handsome. It's just like an ethereal, unknowable beauty that is kind of that draws it. It's not always sexual, right? She's like, I say she's eating you alive with her eyes, but it's like she's trying to just indulge on the feast of what's in front of her visually. And she loses her ability to not speak, but like she like completely cuts off anything she was saying as she takes a good 2 to 3 seconds of just like looking at David. And in those like 2 to 3 seconds, that's when obviously Janet and Leon would eventually walk in. But yeah, I don't know if Elle would say anything, or if Betty would say anything, or if David would say anything, but yeah, she's like, wow.
Betty, I think I'm scaring her.
Oh, I think you're doing something different than scaring.
Did you say that out loud loud enough so she could hear you, David, or no? It was like, did you like lean down to Betty and just kind of say it?
Sort of lean down.
Okay, cool. That's fine. And she's like, and who is this? And that's when the door opens and Janet walks in with Leon, and almost reflexively, hi, welcome to, and she would recognize Janet, maybe because you probably seen each other face to face once or twice, just business dealing with wise, but she wouldn't recognize Leon. Right, I forgot that your sire had you in contact with
Yes.
Just to Janet.
Hi, Ivy. Is Annika in tonight?
Yeah, she's expecting you.
Yeah, I think we should probably go see her.
She just kind of like gestures to behind the desk where there's a plain white door that stands in contrast to a lot of the darker decorations here. It's like, there she's always is.
And we should probably close shop for the night. Just early close tonight.
No hesitation, no like, oh, should I be worried? She just gives you a nod. Yeah, not a problem. And she walks over to the front and flips a sign over from open to close. And I imagine it's not like a regular plastic open close sign. It's very stylized, maybe hand carved out of wood that says open close with bats on the side that say closed and maybe fairies on the side that say open. And as she flips it over to closed, and she actually puts out a couple of the lights as well up front. She's like, don't worry about us. Don't worry about this. No one's going to be coming in while you're here. Just let me know when you guys are done and when I can open again. We'll move.
Yes. Okay. Everybody follow me.
Annika's a pretty name. I used to know an Annika.
Really?
Leon, I brought you your coat. I'm sorry. I fell asleep in it, and I think I broke it.
That is okay, big guy. There's also 2 whacking great holes in the back for your wings, so I think you can keep that.
I'll get Leon a new jacket. You keep that one. It's a gift, right, Leon?
It is a gift from me to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't want you to get cold.
Plus, Leon really.
He's all about worrying about whether we get cold, but just so you know, I don't think you, nor I, or any of these folks are going to get cold anytime soon. We're just always cold.
Is she sick? And he points to the lady behind the counter. Her face is
She's
very red.
different. Well, that's a different type of feeling, dear.
She looks warm like Marcus.
One that
Who is Marcus?
you and I probably won't feel for some time.
Are you like, can
She's
like
down
kind
with
of keep like
something.
staring at her, David, when you're saying this stuff?
It's kind of like, you know, when you side eye someone.
Yeah.
Who is Marcus?
Marcus is the man that I stayed with last night.
Magpie, apparently, is Marcus.
Yes,
we
he
have
calls
his
himself
name now.
Magpie.
He does have a name.
There we go.
That's
He
gonna
does
be fucking up way
indeed.
easier.
You know what, David? I have a feeling you got a lot of questions.
Exactly.
And you
I
know
was
what?
thinking the same thing,
Guys,
Leon.
We promised
we-
to answer them, but we need to help Elspeth out right
Yes,
now.
please. I'm very nervous. Can we just go, please?
Oh,
Remember we talked
Elspeth,
about Elspeth? Deep
no
breath.
need to be nervous.
We're going to take a deep breath. Yeah.
You see her fidgeting with her hands. She has like a nervous habit where she's like kind of picking at her nails a little bit as we're walking in.
Janet would notice that because she knows what nervous women look like. And she just kind of grabs your hand in a motherly way, like one hand underneath, one on top. And she says, you don't have to be nervous. I came to help you, remember?
Yeah, you're better at talking than me. So.
No. You're going to do the talking.
Oh, okay.
But you're not standing alone.
Okay.
Deep breath. You got this. All right.
Okay.
Are we going through here? And David just walks through the door.
Yeah. She just
I
lets her-
push Elspeth ahead to walk in with David, and the rest of us can kind of troll in behind her.
Yeah. And as David's like, do we go in through here? And as he pushes the door, our camera is like up against his hand as he pushes it open, and then it detaches and goes ahead of him. Well, as we move through there into the back room, why don't again, Tracy, describe what does this back room look like? Is it a storage area? Is it an office? Is it a mix?
It's a mix. It's really only one room that we have for our storage, for our office space. You will see more of the more useful goods in the back here, like different candles and different types of like wax. And you're wondering like what that might be. It looks a little concerning. And then other components for various rituals and things. So there's a bit more.
This is not like this is not like a little office for your sire back here. That's all at the other place where you guys kind of spend a lot of your time. But here it's just kind of like you said, it's a back room. And actually, when you walk in, her back is facing you. The other individual, Kaya, is not here tonight. Obviously, it's a small shop. They only need one of them here. But your sire's back is turned to you. How tall is your sire? Do you imagine? In my mind, she's very tall.
Yes, I also imagine her very tall, like probably like 5'9", maybe even like border, like, yeah, she's like tall and very thin.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
thin. It's to re-describe, because it's been since episode 1. There's an ethereal ghastliness to her. Even the way she moves, she's physically here. It's not that she is like half not on this plane, but even when she moves, there's this grace to it that almost makes it give this illusion of like hovering in a weird way.
She makes me think
It's just-
wispy. Wispy.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Extremely wispy. When you see her turning pages in the book, you see her fingers are just longer than you would expect them to be, almost in a Nosferatu-esque way, but not quite like that. It's just a little out of the ordinary. And she wears like you said, a veil at all times. Is it the same dress every time as well? Does she wear a different dress every night?
She probably wears different dresses, but they're usually always like white. And she wears like a white veil and white dress. So, and like, it's a little like, yeah, it makes it even more ghastly in a sense. Yeah.
Janet's
It's almost like a
nightmare.
wedding.
Yeah, Janet's nightmare.
This is somebody, yes, like a sleep paralysis demon. Like she kind of does look like that.
and maybe this is why Janet has only met with her maybe once or twice. Like, we could do business, but we can talk on the phone. I don't need to be around you. You're fucking weird. You know what she is as a clan. I don't know how Janet feels about Hakata in general.
Well, we're going to find out how I feel about them after this conversation. That's for damn sure. If I didn't have feelings before, I'm going to have them after this.
As you enter, she's still reading the book. Like I said, just kind of mostly her back turned toward you. But as you walk in, all of you march in here. It becomes a very tight, kind of packed room pretty quickly. But as the door shuts, it's in that moment that she will gently and slowly close the book, place it where it was on the shelf prior. And almost as though if she was anybody other than her, in a theatrical, almost annoying way, she turns slowly. But she does so, and when she does, she doesn't say anything right away, even though it looks like she might say something. Instead, her gaze, much like that of Ivy, locks to David. But you don't see any facial expressions because she has the veil on, and it's very difficult to see her through it. But she wordlessly, essentially, we'll say glides, but walks up to David. And she's not as tall as you, David, but she's pretty close. And as she gets close to you, Elle, you've seen this a few times. No one in this part, I almost called you coterie. This party has seen her do this, however. But you watch as she gets, like, I would say 6 inches from David. She stops. There's a tense silence between the two of them for a few seconds before you see
staring at her feet.
Yeah, she's wearing you can tell she's wearing heels. And she slowly brings both of her hands from her side up, and you watch as they go under the veil, and she lifts her veil up completely, exposing her face to David in particular rather closely. Do you have an image of what she looks like? Elle, under the veil?
Yes, I do. When you see her, her face is pale, her eyes sunken in, almost corpse-like. She looks probably the most corpse-like out of all of us here. She looks like death.
There is,
itself.
you would probably compare, most people who have never seen her before would probably compare her closest to a Nosferatu, is the closest you could probably compare her to from what you've actively seen, especially new kindred like Leon. As she removes her veil, and her eyes have this like milky like film almost over them to kind of coincide with that corpse-like look. She does not whisper, but very quietly say, this complicates things. And as she looks you in the eye, David, with the exception of the first few moments you've woken up, you've had a unified inner narrator, voice, your own thoughts. They are yours. But as she says this, and then her eyes lock onto you, and you look into her eyes, you don't lose sight of reality around you. Things don't go mute like you're seeing or beyond the veil. In fact, quite the opposite happens. The voice, your thoughts, whatever it is you identify as you, gets violently torn apart. No longer is that unified voice, but it's very similar to the first moment you woke up. Multiple voices, all screaming separate things in a chaotic cacophony that you cannot understand. They all feel like totally independent, invasive thoughts, as though your mind is being telepathically assaulted. And yet, through it all, there's a weird undercurrent of familiarity that you can't quite grasp onto. And as your inner mind schisms into a cacophony of voices, we'll go take a break.
Wait, it's already break time?
It is 4 o'clock on the nose. That is correct.
What?
Okay, gang. Well,
what's the rule to see if I actually look? Mathews, she's like right next to me because I'm standing next to her. How do I not look up from her feet? I feel like
you want to. You're trying to see if she has feet.
No, I'm trying to see if I look up at her face.
She's trying not to stare.
You all
I wonder if I look.
You all are going to get a look at her face. When she lifts it up, it's not like you can't turn it like away.
That's what I'm like wondering is like, I feel like I would want to look.
No, yeah, it's more of an etiquette thing, I think, is like what Elle was getting at.
Yes, like it's rude to stare kind of thing.
Okay, well, I think
because I know she looks that Betty's
staring.
Yeah. And obviously, I've got chat open right now, and did this happen to everyone? No, this is just David. This is the only one's experience. It's in David's mind. We kind of, as like
He's
the
doing
eyes
something.
meet, we have the quick cut, like to just like close zoom up to like from like their upper bridge nose to their eyes, and it just kind of rapidly cuts between each of them until we cut to black.
Does he get a counter to her doing whatever she's doing to him?
I think it's just a memory.
We'll worry about what's happening next.
Okay. We'll be back from break in just a little bit, everybody.
Take a
Go
break.
hydrate. Be right back.
welcome back, everybody. It's in Providence, episode 3, Breaks Over. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you want to watch what's happening or you missed the first half, head over to youtube.com/podbynight. Videos go live there. Or if you're a subscriber, you can just go rewind the VOD right now and start fresh from the beginning.
It's true.
Because we're just going to jump right into the scene that we left off at. So let's pick up right there. As the voices in your head, David, as you look into the milky, filmy eyes of this, well, genuinely walking corpse, it truly looks like that to David in every sense of the word. You hear your own voice torn asunder, no longer surfacing the thoughts that are your own, but individual voices, each screaming for attention, each vying to be the one to be heard, and in that, none of them comprehensible. You don't understand a word that they say. The world around you doesn't melt. It doesn't change. It's still here. However, in this moment, if you want to act independently, I will need you to make me a composure resolve check.
Sure.
Otherwise, you are essentially stunned, for lack of a better word.
Two.
You could reroll 2 of those if you'd like. Up to you.
Um,
It was always the border for me is like, do you or do you not want this?
Yeah.
Power?
I'll do it.
Wow,
4.
beautiful. What action are you looking for David to take in this moment?
Well, I think the question is, am I experiencing a series of voices inside of my mind that are
Yes.
familiar to me?
Like I said, they are not familiar in that you know who they are. They are strange voices.
Strangers.
But there is a weird tug of you feel like you know them. You don't know why. You don't know names. You don't have any specifics. There's just a familiarity to them that you cannot put your finger on.
Yeah.
In otherwise, they're strangers. It's like hearing a voice actor you feel like you're familiar with playing some random NPC in a game, but no matter what you do, you can't pin their name. And
It's
then
like
when you
that
go
moment
look
you're
it
like,
up,
is
you're
that
wrong
Mark
anyway.
Meir?
Yeah, and then you go look it up and you're wrong anyway. But it
Yeah.
sounds like that there's that kind of feeling to try best to contextualize it for actual existence.
And this doesn't feel like some sort of supernatural thing coming from her. It feels like it's
No.
something coming from me.
No, I wouldn't say it feels like coming from her. It definitely was triggered when she looked into your eyes, but it doesn't feel like a force was like she's not like pushing these voices into your head.
Sure.
It was something about looking into her eyes triggered again, if we were to assume here in this moment, David's voice or his identity, like a lot of us in reality, are an intertwined spiral of experiences. It feels like all those experiences got pulled apart, but exist in the same spot at the same time anyway, no longer unified, but chaotic. And
Then
with that role, you would, sorry, what action would you take? Sorry.
I think because she's close, you said she's like 6 inches
She's like
away
6
from
inches
me.
away.
And she's relatively tall, even with the heels on. She's pretty tall.
With the heels on, she's closer to like even to you in height.
Okay. Then I think David would look to her and not break away from her gaze.
Mhm.
Can I touch you?
So with that, when you roll your resolve composure and succeed in this moment, and it is a round in World of Darkness is 3 seconds. In this moment, all those voices with effort and genuinely feels like trying to strengthen a magnet to draw the voices together again for a brief moment. But you are, and it feels like a Herculean effort, but you do. And those voices for just this moment silence, and you feel yourself again. And that when you do, you say, "Can I touch you?" There is no response, but you understand the answer isn't no.
I will delicately raise both of my hands to trace the jaw and up to like the lower orbitals and across her lips.
Right.
And I think before he begins to lose himself, David would say, "Did you cry when I disappeared?"
There's give me a wits insight. Just David.
I'm so confused.
Mm,
2.
4.
4. There's a brief momentary flash of confusion that kind of comes across her face. And while her voice to the rest of you sounds light and wispy and sometimes even hard to hear, David, it rattles in your head like a gong in an empty hallway. And all she says to you is, "Who are you?" But to you, it sounds more, let me use my board here so it works. It might not work. "Who are you?" And in your mind, it just echoes and resonates and lingers for what feels like an eternity. And that question requires a resolved composure from you.
Sure. Can I get a read on how she said that? Is it a demand? Does it sound sorrowful?
It does not. It doesn't sound sorrowful. It sounds curious.
3.
You are not sent rattling into another spiral of a cacophony of voices, but instead while her question does linger, you still have control over yourself in this moment. And while the initial answer, maybe the only answer that comes to is David for one reason or another, there is a strange existential hollowness to the rest of that answer. David. But what is, or who is David?
David
And
moved
that's
forward, getting his face closer to hers, just like sort of studying, like you're trying to find the finer details in an art piece. And as he leans forward, says, "I'm David."
When you say that, she reaches her hands up and pulls her veil back down. You no longer are fighting the voices, David. She takes a step back and then looks to Elle. "A moment of your time."
Yes. I'll be right
She
back.
looks at the others expectantly, like they need to leave.
Oh, come on, everybody. We're leaving.
Including David?
David, yeah, including David.
Come on, David. Let's go
Go out to
shopping.
the front room or what have you. Yeah. Just leave the back
Janet,
room for now.
she looks sad.
Yeah, aren't we all a little bit? Come on, honey.
I'm gonna take his hand. Like, yeah, let's leave them to be sad.
I
He'll
turn.
follow. He'll grab his hand.
Yeah. You walk out the front door, eventually
think-
leaving.
Betty will walk slowly behind them, but she keeps turning back to look back.
Yeah. She does, and her sire's never looking at you, but Elle probably keeps looking over and seeing Betty looking over, like,
I make one less set of eyes to Elspeth that's like, yell the safe word if you need some help. I'm on the other side of this door. But moms know that kids have to deal with their own problems, so I slowly close the door behind me.
And when you do you say something first, Elspeth, or do you wait for your sire to say something?
I wait.
Her words are simple, and like often, there's a real lack of emotion in her words. Even things that are pertinent, important, or even urgent, they never leave her lips in a hurried way. Her voice never raises in its tempo or its pitch. It is always a steady, calm, not monotone, but just a calm dialect. And in this calm dialect, she speaks to you. You are in a bit of trouble, my child.
I was afraid you would say that. Can I just tell you what happened?
She leaves this floor open for you to do so.
So when we went to the docks to get the package, we got the package that the rest of that group there was looking for, and then when we went to get this one, it opened. We didn't open it. I promise. We didn't open it. It opened itself. Obviously, there was a thing in there, a living, and when it opened, he didn't really know where he was, but he had like some coordinates that he wanted to go to, and we tried to stop him, and then he flew away.
She raises her hand just slowly, gently. To you, Elspeth, you are aware, as you're very close with your sire, that she's merely telling you to slow, calm. Your voice is getting more anxious. She can feel, and so can you, the concern in your voice as you begin to speak. When you take a moment and you keep to yourself, her hand lowers, and she gestures for you to continue whatever the last bits of the story you wanted to tell.
He went to this lower, like, underground area. I forget exactly where it was in the city. Met with somebody who took the stone that you gave me, and it's gone now. I think he said it was like in him or something.
She just with a subtle nod, but goes to speak to interject. My child, you are not the one in trouble for this.
Okay.
I didn't expect. She shrugs almost gently. A being in that box.
Okay, so you didn't know it was in there either.
No. I only thought piece of him was in there.
Piece of him.
But he is whole. Things are moving quickly than I thought.
What are we supposed to do with him?
She almost lets that open, like curious what you were planning on doing with him. But she doesn't respond. She kind of just lets you fill the dead air.
I mean, he seems very unsure of everything around him. I don't think, well, we don't know what he is, but I don't think even he knows what he is. He needs help.
She nods. He can't know what he is. It's impossible for him to. She continues to almost say something and stop. Almost say something and stop. Almost say something and stop. Lost or stuck in a loop of her own thoughts or words. If Elspeth is patient, she will eventually speak. If she is, not that you're not patient, but there is an open silence where Elspeth could interject. If she doesn't, and she just waits. We need to ensure that he doesn't go back to where he was. If he is handed over, taken by whomever it is also looking for him, they will tear him apart, examine him, rip apart his, what's left of his individuality and being. And while there may be an endless well of information to learn, a life is precious, is it not?
I agree.
And everything that we do, and all the practices we perform, the one thing I've held firm, the one thing you've held true, is the respect for life. What David was, or what I had hoped to prevent him from becoming, is too late. He is whole now. And in that, he seems to have a flicker of an identity that is individualistic. If they take him, they will literally, as I said, tear him apart. That can't happen.
No, he seems, honestly, it's kind of sweet. He just doesn't really understand things. He needs help.
And he seems to have found trust in you.
I guess so. I mean, I was kind to him. The only thing I worry is that he kind of also has a mind of his own, and wings. So when he wants to do something, he will literally just fly away. And he's very strong. So we have to figure out how to make sure he doesn't fly away and get taken and torn apart.
And that's why he's precious, no? Because he has a mind of his own. He has that individuality, something they would fail to see or fail to care about. They worry about how he is, not what he is. They can learn how he is. I don't know what they could do with that information. Understand, Elspeth, when I sent you there, I wasn't expecting a body. I was expecting a body part. To be brought back and to be used for educational purposes and study, both under my own personal curiosity and to teach you some of the more finer details of things that are to come in your education. My understanding is he was far from being what he is now. And like the winds in the storm, fate changes. It's how you handle that momentum change. I refuse to look at the man who walked in here and gave me a name and pretend that he is not an individual, which speaks to the curiosity of our kind, does it not? Perhaps we are more than just monsters. A philosophical debate for another time. Regardless, Tremere want him, and Tremere will do what Tremere do to them. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
They will come looking, at least speaking with me. The box that you found was marked by our families, former families. So they'll come speaking with me. He cannot be here. Nor does he know me. And nor do I wish to get to know him. Not yet, not now.
Okay.
Those in the other family don't know about you. So, he will remain with you.
Oh, that makes sense.
You must make it clear to him that he cannot go back to wherever he said he came from.
I will do my best. No, I will make sure that he does not go back.
Need further motivation beyond the curiosity in him of being a life, as it would be. The thing that keeps him walking, thing in his chest, or did you tell her it was in his chest, the stone?
Yeah, I was like, it was in him, question mark.
That is ours. Does not belong to the Tremere, and is not Tremere creation, doesn't belong to them. Nor does he, but the right of that individual item is that of our family.
So is he technically ours?
I claim no life.
Just curious. I will see about keeping him under protection and concealment because he does kind of stand out a lot. That's kind of already happened a little bit, but we took care of it.
She doesn't move an inch. She's still as a statue.
Does this mean like, I don't know, my studies are going to be like halted for a bit because things like there's like a wrench in the plans now kind of thing?
She again doesn't move. The winds of a storm, Elspeth.
Right. The winds, the trajectory. Okay.
At that she stays still and silent. In this moment, if you have more questions for her, she takes them, but she never gives you a formal goodbye until you say goodbye.
I don't think Elspeth has any other questions. So
Okay.
she just, she turns and takes her leave.
And she will, as you're about to walk out the door, you'll hear her say, and a reminder, do not bring him back here. Not until I tell you if they've come and gone.
Right, because those Salem Tremere, you don't want them coming at our doorstep. Not great. Okay, yeah, we'll take them somewhere else.
And you walk up at the door and back out front,
Yes.
where the 4 of them are. I'm assuming you just went to the front of the
Question
store, Janet, and all them. Betty,
Just
all you
waiting
guys?
patiently and quietly.
Yeah. It's like a 5 to 5.
I don't know about patiently or quietly, but waiting.
Yeah. After about 10 or so minutes, Elspeth finally walks out the back door into the front of the store.
Hello. Hi. Well, that I'm not in trouble. We collectively are kind of in trouble having, David with us.
She didn't mean that, David.
I don't know why I
more
make
so-
trouble.
No one can put
No,
me
you
in
be
trouble other than my own self.
You hear
Right.
Ivy just kind of, I could make a lot of trouble with him.
Oh, this is the new grant.
Okay.
Just kidding.
No, Ivy walks away.
Just
All
kidding.
right.
Just kidding. JK.
So what now, Elspeth?
So, my sire, she wasn't expecting the delivery was supposed to just be like a body part, not a full person,
Not all the parts, because he's got them all.
like a living person, who has a, conscience and mind and everything.
How is this conversation affecting David?
I forgot.
Hard cut, and you just see fucking Ivy tracing his abs with her finger. How's David handle? Is he just standing
David-
there? Is it hitting him like
Two
just like
things.
a wall?
Is Ivy actually doing that?
No,
For
no,
us?
no. That was like a classic like anime hard cut of just being like, "What these real?"
I think when you say that he's real and alive and he's got all of his parts, David probably like reactively flinches the wings. It's like, but I have more.
An extra. He came with extra.
Why don't you have wings?
Well, because
great
we're
question.
we're not as special as you are, David.
Why does
Well,
everyone
I
keep
kind
saying
of
I'm
can
special?
have wings in some way.
Does this mean that I am going to be a payday to you like I am to Marcus?
Payday,
Payday.
honey. We're not getting paid.
Marcus said I was
wish
his
I was
ticket.
getting paid. If you know of a ways that I probably can think of a few ways now that I
Marcus
think
said he
about it.
was you were his ticket to who?
He wouldn't tell me their names, but that they were coming for me, and he asked me to stay.
Did he say
But
they were
Marcus-
like him or like us?
He said they were like us.
Who wants
But
to
you
go?
told, I think you talked to Marcus about that, right?
We
Like,
did
last-
kind of, but he struggled.
He said
so
he-
there was only so much I could tell he would tell.
Yeah.
I was interested to see if he told David something he didn't tell Janet, right?
Oh, I don't think he. Yeah, he didn't
I
give
don't
any
think he
names.
necessarily did. You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
On Rough Likes Night tonight, you know what we need? Ice cream. I say we all load up in the car and we can talk about this on the way, and we'll go get a shake or something. Some fries. You like shakes, David?
I don't
As long
know.
as you put a little something extra in my shake.
Well, Betty, I imagine that we can put whatever in your shake you want. I just think maybe David could use a little normalcy.
I don't
I was-
think this is normal for him either.
Marcus told me that when we get hungry, we crave blood.
Well, at least he didn't lie to you on that front. That's true, honey. Some
Well,
of us.
Janet can help you with some kind of smoothie of that sort as well.
Does that mean that Ivy is also like us?
You actually immediately hear her laugh. Huh. Oh, hopefully one day, but no, not yet.
She seems very hungry. Have you been feeding?
Me?
She also gets like a little flustered from just like the blood. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not hungry. I'm good. But
Are you hungry,
I'm gonna
David?
go help. And she like
No.
awkwardly leaves and heads in the
I
back
don't
room.
think that I'm hungry.
Okay. Well, then let's get a sweet treat, huh?
I would like to try.
I'm gonna pull the car around back this time. No need to fly, David. Your wings can take a rest. You can ride in the car.
Hey, David. Can we talk for a sec?
I'm gonna go get the car.
um, so I know how are you feeling right now? I feel like this is kind of a lot.
I feel like everyone keeps telling me that I'm a surprise and that I'm new and that I'm a package and I'm just David.
You are. And it kind of sucks that, you know, people are treating you like you are something to be taken. That's my sire in there, Annika. She warned me that that guy that you're with, Marcus, the people that were coming to meet you, if you go with them, they might do just that. They might take you, and because of, your uniqueness, they might try to tear you apart.
Elle, when I saw Annika, I hurt inside.
You hurt?
I don't know why I hurt, but it hurt to see her.
You said you knew somebody named Annika. That's a pretty rare name, David.
I remember the feel of her face.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Is that strange? Is it strange, Betty?
Is what's strange? There's a lot of strange things happening around here. And some other not so strange.
Before she lifted the cover on her face, I knew what her skin felt like. I knew what her face was shaped like.
Well, it's only strange if you've never seen her before, but it appears that maybe you have and you've forgotten, like you've got some kind of amnesia. I've had moments like that before when I've taken a little too much of something. Perhaps you did that.
But Marcus said I've only been born for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's strange. Maybe there's a different meaning to being born.
How are you born?
Yeah, have a lot of different wording for things sometimes.
Did you also come out of a box?
Some might say I did come out of a box if you really think about it. I think we all did.
You're going to confuse him, Betty.
True, yes. A different type of box than the box that you've come out of, or flesh-like.
Hey, David, there's this thing that friends do, and I think we're friends, right?
Friends don't lie.
Friends don't lie. But they also do this thing where we do like these little promises, like we make a little promise.
That's why I don't think we're friends with Marcus, because Marcus lied to me.
Yes, I know you felt like you needed to go there that one time. Maybe we could make a little promise now that you don't go back there, because you could be in danger if you do.
But then Marcus won't make money, and even if he lied to me, I don't want to see him hurt.
Look, I don't really want people to get hurt either, but if you go back there and those people are waiting for you, you're going to get hurt even worse. So we should make a promise right now that you're not going to go back there, because bad things will happen.
But what about Marcus?
He's not.
Well, Marcus is on his way to New York, apparently. That's what he told me last. Although I did tell him if he was looking for me, or that if he needed help, he could look for me. He seemed unworried about that.
David, you have to look after you. And if you can, you look after friends. When you say Marcus isn't a friend.
But I trusted him.
And what did he do with that trust?
He protected me when I slept.
Well, that's something. Maybe we can do something for Marcus later, but you first.
Toot toot, the car beeps out back. It's like a horn. Toot toot.
Just promise, David, you're not going to fly away to Marcus.
All right. I told him that I would come back sometime. I didn't say immediately.
So he's expecting you back.
He
That
said
is
that,
odd since he said he wasn't going to be there anymore.
he said that I was his payday and that I was his ticket to riches.
Interesting.
He might have rethought that when we paid him a visit.
I don't want to be
Sometimes-
traded to someone.
Riches are not worth your life, and perhaps that young guy has some wits about him.
Should get in the car.
You don't have to get in the car. I won't be joining you all, but I hope you have a good night. And
Night, Betty.
she'll get her cart out of the back.
It's
Oh, out
wobbling
of the
out
back of the car, and I go, Betty, you're not coming?
You're gonna.
Oh no, I think I'll stay here for a little bit longer. And she kind of like looks around the shop area.
Good night,
Okay.
Ivy. Your hair is like fire and it's very pretty.
From the back, you just hear, "Hey, thank you."
Okay, everybody buckled up. Betty, I roll the window down. Betty, you know where to find us if you need something, huh?
Oh, you know I always do if I need something.
Always. And I kind of roll the window up.
And
Knowing that is
she
very
winks and
true.
smiles.
Yeah, we get in the car. I make sure David's in the back seat only for the wingspan. He needs the
Yeah,
he
of
needs
course.
the space. And as we get in, I say, okay, we're gonna get some ice cream, and then we gotta race the sun back to Boston. Where are you two staying?
Where are we staying, Elle?
You know, Janet.
I do know. You don't even have to say it. Buckle up. Leon, are you going home, or would you like to partake in the sleepover?
Well, while I'm very interested, I have a lot of research to do.
Yeah, you do.
David reaches out to Leon. Come have ice cream.
Oh, Leon's getting
I'll come
ice
have
cream.
ice cream first. In fact, I have some questions for you out of my own personal
Well, good,
curiosity.
because GPS says we're like 5 minutes out. So start asking, and I kind of pull out as I go towards like drive-through
Are you
ice
going to
cream.
get actual ice cream?
Yeah, we're gonna go get like a shake and French fries, and like David needs some positivity.
Yeah.
The
Who
mom
wants to
and Janet
rouse the
knows that.
blood to have blush of life?
I technically don't gotta, so I'm just
No,
gonna drink my shake.
You're good, but but no one else is.
I don't think David knows about that.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, he wouldn't, and nobody
You'd
would
have to
know if
dry
you're
clean
rousing
your
anyway.
palate.
It's not like a
Yeah,
visible thing.
it's not a visible thing. So, David, if you struggle swallowing, honey, you gotta I want you to focus on the blood in your veins, and I want you to make them bubble. Gotta rouse it. You gotta get the blood pumping, honey. You'll be warm.
No, I don't know.
Okay. I pull off. Maybe we're at some kind of like Sonic like drive-in for like shakes and fries. And so I kind of pull into one of the spots and I turn around from the front seat and I hold his hand and I can't rouse because it would be bad for all of us. The risk is not worth this lesson. You know what? And I put his other hand to another one of the kindred in the car and I go, so I want you to close your eyes. Okay. I want you to think about the blood in your veins. Right now, it's still like a pond. But I want it to be a raging sea. You see it? Can you see the blood now moving, flowing like a river?
No.
Okay, try again. Keep focusing. Mathews, can he please make a rouse check?
I'm going to leave that up to him. I'll leave that up to you.
I don't know what he would try to do here.
Yeah,
He's
why
going to
not?
try to shake the stillness.
Sure.
Yeah, from a still pond to a flowing stream. It's a flowing stream.
If you fail, it'd be funny. No,
Yeah.
of course. Bob doesn't fail.
Doesn't
What the heck?
fail. That's okay.
Your
He
rolls are
roused.
amazing
He
today.
did it. He did it.
When this occurs, David, you do feel it's not like you feel your blood truly moving through your veins again, but you feel warmth return. The sense of touch becomes a little bit more heightened. You feel breathing is satisfying. But unlike other kindred, there are still bits and pieces of you that never achieve that warmth, that still feel ice cold. like a random finger on your left hand, a patch of your shoulder, maybe like a good chunk of your torso. Parts of you don't ever truly get warm, while the rest of you does get warm like a human does.
I think David gets excited. And feeling the warmth kind of hit his body. He like reaches forward and touches Elle's shoulder.
How excited.
I'm warm.
Yeah.
I'm warm. And like out the window, like he's looking out the window. Janet taught me how to swallow.
Yeah,
I'm warm.
We're gonna keep the window up, honey. I put the child lock on the doors. We've been through this one time. There are child locks on my doors.
You just hear somebody shout in the street, "How much?"
Not tonight, honey. You can't afford us. And I'll kind of like put the windows up, and put all the child locks on in my mom mobile, and I'm like, "See, good job, honey."
What do I do? What do I do now?
Well, you put this little straw to your lips, and you enjoy your shake. You want chocolate or vanilla?
I think I don't care.
Okay, vanilla it is. Here you go, honey.
He probably begins like drinking the shake, and
Yep.
it's that momentary, like the first hit as it hits the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, it's
and
cold.
He's like, you see the eyebrows like kind of go up and down, and flinch his eyes close, and he just sort of instinctively just does this like needs peanut butter.
Okay,
Peanut butter.
Well, I got
Wow.
plenty of peanut butter at the house. I buy in bulk.
I like
Okay.
peanut butter.
Fries next.
Oh, right, fries. Fries. I shout out the window to the girl who maybe forgot them.
Yeah. They come back like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
And as we kind of like,
Leaning up, I can swallow.
no,
I can
David.
swallow.
I look at them like we can't let them see the gargoyle in the back seat sucking down a vanilla milkshake.
Peanut butter, I can swallow.
I leave the window up to like my nose. Thank you, honey. And eventually I'll drive off when we get like our full order or whatever. And Janet pays for it with money, David. In fact, her mom wallet, as it comes out of her Versace purse, is full of money. Thank you. And I'll like pull out and start to drive. I like zip my purse and close the wallet back up. Just planting that for David. Yeah, I'll drive us back to Boston, but I imagine there's things to be said. Oh,
Yeah.
We have to drop a shake off. We bought an extra one for Betty. She wanted to spike hers, but she needed the shake. So I just swing back through the neighborhood on the way out of town.
You're just like looking around for her.
Yeah, I'm like, that looks like the kind of dumpster she likes. I'll kind of set, the shake out. She'll find it. She'll find her shake.
Somebody will if she doesn't.
Yeah, somebody will. But I know it'll be Betty.
Before we cut to Betty, as you're driving out and you're heading out back to Boston, Leon, I want you to make me a wits awareness. And then, is there conversation? Elspeth wanted this. You said you wanted to, or Leon wanted to ask David questions.
I did, but it was a long one. If you want to cut.
Well, where's
to
Betty going?
Betty wants to check out this little shop a little bit more.
Oh, sure, the Knights in Bloom.
Not like, but more with some of her abilities, and then kind of linger around the area, see if she can get any other information that might be useful for her.
Yeah. What are you using for your abilities? Like Sense the Unseen?
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's free. I think.
It.
Yep, it's free.
Yeah.
Dice pool, wits, aspects, or resolve aspects. Wits aspects, I think, is what you're looking for here. Hiding in play.
Oh boy.
Yeah, give me a. Oh, okay. There. Oh, if it actively searches for a hidden. Resolve.
Oh, maybe
aspect.
that's why I had it the other way.
Resolve
like-
aspects. Well, yeah, because it's one or the other. Because like it depends on what you're looking for. But
Gotcha.
if you're looking for something supernatural, like a ghost, that kind of stuff, it's resolve aspects. If you're looking to detect a vampire that's hiding themselves, like obfuscate, it's wits aspects.
Gotcha.
So which one do you want to do?
I don't know. I guess wits aspects makes the most sense for her.
If you're looking for like vampires that are hiding around and like lingering around in her shop and stuff.
God, I hate these rolls are always so weird, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the little roll button? Here it is. Aspects, wits. I think I just hit this. Oh, I should have roused. That's okay.
Yeah.
I can power that, right?
1.
You will power one of them. Yep.
Ooh,
Right.
what?
Lord.
Yeah, no, not 4, just 1.
I don't know
I'll
why I
count the
did
first
that.
one. I'll just count the first one as a success. Like I'll just take the
Okay.
first die.
I don't
With
know
2
why I did
successes,
that.
you
I did.
You linger inside the shop for a while, or just outside the shop for a while?
Might pop back in quick,
Yeah.
look at some of the goods, and then pop out.
Yeah, you're trying to see, like, as you like let your senses kind of expand and you drop the pretense of remaining in the physical world exclusively, and you're trying to kind of just look around. You've seen Nosferatu who have used obfuscate and hidden before. You know what you're looking for, and it may not be surprising necessarily to Betty, but there's no kindred or any like being, like physical being, hiding here. However, Betty is also aware that Elspeth is a Hakata. Uh, that doesn't mean there are not necessarily spirits lingering around here, which would require a resolve aspects roll if you wanted to make that roll too.
Sure. That one's not going to be as good, but shall do.
Okay, you never know.
Oh yeah, and I get an additional. I keep forgetting I get an additional die from my blah thing that I have. Ooh,
Oh, yeah, you
all
rolled-
3.
Yeah, all 3 successes. I'll let you, Tracy. What does she feel here? Now, it's a low level power. She would feel the presence of them. She would know, but it wouldn't be specific like details of who they are. But she would be able to tell that if there's multiple, if there's one, how maybe even if they're like lingering nearby the veil or are further away. Out of curiosity, go ahead, Tracy. What does she feel?
You would feel the presence of multiple spirits lingering here. They seem, well, if you can get a feel, it's something that they seem upset or angry, or something seems to be lingering around here that is upset.
I would say Betty probably feels an uncomfortable feeling. Maybe not a specific emotion, but not, they're not happy at the very least. There's an uncomfortable feeling amongst the spirits that seem to linger here. Which to Betty,
I think Betty says out loud from this feeling, going,
Oh, I feel the same way.
you would are you in the store or out of the store when you say that?
I think. Well, that depends. Would I feel that more strongly inside or outside?
In it would be the strongest inside, but as long as you're like near the building, it's pretty much the vicinity of the building.
I'm fine with it either way. So,
Yeah. Well, if you
but
say inside,
wherever it would be
Ivy
strongly,
would just be look to you confused and just.
and that's okay with me. I think that's fine.
She goes, feel what way?
Well, uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean to put the heat up a little bit in the building?
I think Betty just looks at her, grins widely. Ivy is just like a human who's like a shop person here, right?
Ivy isn't the ghoul. Ivy is the retainer. So she is a mortal who is aware of what you are and all this stuff. But she's because it just the Hakata and the way the family can work sometimes. She has to earn her place. You might not necessarily know those details, but you do know Hakata deal with mortals a lot more than a lot of other kindred do. But she is in the know. She's made that clear. She knows that you're kindred, but she is just a mortal.
I think Betty gives her a good grin and says,
Oh, I don't need to worry about the heat.
That's what I thought. Well, if I could do anything to make you more comfortable in here, happy to do so.
It's not me who you have to worry about.
Oh. Okay.
and Betty will turn around, but I would like to use chemistry to make it look like there's another face turning back at her.
Gotcha. Yeah. Do you use the low level one? This one you have to put in the thing because I don't know.
Yeah, I can put it there.
Yeah, level 2, 1 rouse check. manipulation, obfuscate. They don't get a resistance roll because they're mortal.
Oh, I might be hungry. I might eat her. No, I'm
Oh,
good.
you succeeded. That would be bad. Hallucinating, distracting along to blah 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 blah. Yeah. So literally describe what she sees. So it's just that you the illusion of you're like, I'm not the one you need to be worried about, and you just turn with a smile and walk out the door. But she sees.
She
like you-
sees me turn around, but then at the back of me, there's like another face.
So as you turn around there, there's another. Is it your face? Is the same face?
Yeah.
You would hear. You don't need to make a roll. You would hear her like a sudden, like sharp gasp of surprise as you do, and you walk out the door. And I imagine you say nothing. You just let that linger, or do you make?
No, she just cackles as she opens the door. As you hear the little bell ringing, like she's just like,
Now,
and both faces are laughing.
And as you walk out, you immediately feel the presence of the uncomfortable presence of the spirits diminish greatly. And as you walk away from the building, it doesn't take long before you feel it dissipate entirely.
Yeah, I think if it starts
you-
feeling like different as she's leaving, I think she'll just say,
What are they doing to you?
Kind of outwardly asking.
yeah.
Like unsurprisingly, so you don't get an answer from the spirit, but your curiosity is seated. You are at 3 hunger.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
you want to go
hungry.
eat?
Yes. I would like
So
to find
you're a
some
Sandman
person
hunter, right?
sleeping,
Yeah.
I guess like a homeless person sleeping, preferably if they look like they've partaken in some substances. Those would be the ones that I want.
Yeah. Do you have a
to look
preferred
for.
substance?
I don't know. We haven't talked about that necessarily, but I think
Okay.
she kind of dabbles in a variety. I think for her, it's anything. Like as long as she can get something, like it's just the feeling of something.
Absolutely. I guess then, is there a particular feeling she's after? Calmness and excitability.
I think it's the feeling of just letting go.
Okay.
Like not having to worry, not thinking.
Okay.
That's why she does it.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me your hunting roll.
Wow. Oh, I have not done that. What's the role for that?
Whatever
for
your Sandman hunting is, I'd have to look.
Hold on, let me pull up Demi
You got it.
Plane.
Okay.
I was about to say we might actually be able to find this in the compendium. Sandman, because it's part of the core book.
It's much easier to find.
Yep. So Sandman says, disciplines feed if they ever wake. Perhaps you're very antisocial if you don't add a specialty medicine or stealth. It doesn't say hunting Sandman. There we go. Different section. Dexterity, stealth.
Yeah, stealth makes sense.
Because you're sleeping. Because they're sleeping
Yep.
victims. So it is dex stealth.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think I add that to the roll. It says any pool, but that doesn't make sense for
4 is still very good. With 4, you're able to find somebody who would have the phlegmatic resonance. I think is what it's called.
I smell it in the blood.
You could smell you could smell it in the air around him. That he is extremely stoned. And you would drink from that, and you would, through drinking, you would have the echo of that stoner feeling of the letting go, not worrying, anxiety falling away, and letting yourself just like, I feel relaxed. And it's probably in the same alleyway as you're walking out of it, where the milkshake is sitting there waiting for you. You didn't need to. You will feed down to 1 hunger.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't need to kill him. You don't have a hunger frenzy or anything. And if you see the milkshake, probably a little warm, maybe even like someone took a sip of it at some point. It's hard to tell. Would you still want to drink it down?
I think she will leave it in the place for that person.
Okay.
I was about to say for the
She knows-
homeless guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
because she knows that like he's gonna be hungry, or
Yeah.
they who I don't know.
And
who
you're
he's
sated
drinking from.
after feeding too. You're not that hungry right now anyway. So, and we see Betty kind of walk out of the alleyway after feeding, probably like cleaning off her lip or licking her lip a little bit before we kind of move back to the car. Now, where's Betty heading to after that? She has to keep mobile. Is she going to find a place to stay out in Salem?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop up my tent somewhere where it's as shady as possible. Maybe like
Yeah.
under a bridge. I don't know, like I have to go look at Salem, check
Oh,
it
there's
out.
bridges.
and-
Oh,
I was
there's
about to say a
yeah,
lot
definitely
of
bridges.
bridges, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
can be the
plenty of bridges
bridge
you can
troll.
pop under. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
very
control
bridge
it.
troll vibes too. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. You can easily do that. When we cut back to the van, Leon, I want to give you the floor. I know I had you make that roll, but before we go, what did you roll out of? How many did you
I got
roll?
one.
Awesome. We'll say with one success, as you're driving, you're just kind of watching. I imagine Leon, beyond asking questions, does he stare out? Like, how does he compose himself in the car? Does he kind of gaze out the window? Is he more engaged? Because it'll determine how this kind of presents.
Yeah, I'm imagining that Leon is further ahead in the car because obviously David's in the back for the wings. So he's like climbing over his own seat, like hanging off of the back, like trying to get around the headrest. And he's kind of like, he doesn't look at you while he's talking. He's kind of looking out the window. He's looking at the ceiling. And like, there's probably a few moments where he stops mid sentence.
And as you're driving, out of the corner of your eye and your peripheral, you're watching the street lights kind of go by. Even when you're looking out the window, you're not taking in everything. But as it goes by, it's also very rhythmic. Orange light, orange light, orange light. And as it continues and stays slightly out of your focus, the pattern of the orange light begins to come closer and closer until it almost feels like in a weird, blurry, low resolution way. The orange light pattern almost kind of forms like, I guess you would call it a humanoid shape. And at the moment you would turn your eyes to like look at it, it's gone. Like a floater in your eye vision or something you see out of the corner of your eye. It's briefly there. Your brain recognizes a pattern that looks like it's a person, maybe. And the minute you make eye contact with it, it is long gone and is back to just being the lights. That is what one wit's awareness will get you. But you also had a question for David.
Yeah, so he flicks his head. He's like, I should really ignore those things. David, I sort of had a question. You've got a really interesting opportunity here because I don't know if you know, but we're all different flavors. And I can tell for certain that you're not from my bloodline because you don't whisper when you talk. So, and I think I can talk for all of us when we haven't seen something from your bloodline before.
Yeah, kid, it's kind of like, I'm a vanilla, he's a chocolate, she's a strawberry. You're a flavor we've never encountered before. All milkshakes, but different flavors.
You can name that. Like, I got given a name.
Yeah, you should copyright and trademark it too, because let me tell you something, honey. As soon as people find out, it's all over.
Yeah.
Well, am I not like Elle then?
You are, in some ways, as much as I'm like Elle. We
But
are
descended from a different place.
That's right. Yeah, we all got different families.
I don't know what I am.
What would you like to be?
I don't know. I know what I don't want to be.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't want to be a thing that's traded.
Oh, honey, you're not going to get traded. Why do you think we came all the way to Salem to get you?
You kept saying something about the masquerade, and I think I'm causing you problems, Janet.
Oh, honey, you're not causing me problems. You're what we call a black swan. You're the unexpected thing at an unexpected time. But you know what a black swan does for business? It escalates it. It changes things. It develops a new what's the word I'm looking for? Like a new place to play in. What I'm saying is you're just opportunity. You're not an object. You just, it was unexpected. We were told we was picking up an object. Somebody lied to us. And so you can imagine our surprise.
But the thing is, we can make sure that you are prepared for the future. Like, I don't actually know how much you know about the world. Like, do you know where we are? Do
No.
you know how to use money? Do you know...
I know about money, and I know that's important. I know about
Why do you think it's important?
computers.
You know about computers? Well, that's a good start, because computers are a portal to all sorts of knowledge.
I know what computers are, and I know that's what Marcus was using, but he had rope between his. And it was like... I remember Fantasia, where he had the robe. It was the mouse with the robe, and he was like a wizard.
With the
And
dancing elephants.
You mean like the actual movie?
Fantasia.
Fantasia,
And Marcus
oh
was like the mouse with the robes.
Yeah, and what are you in Fantasia?
I think I'm just the broom.
Oh, honey. Don't count yourself so short. If there's anybody the broom in this, it's old Marcus, but that's maybe just my opinion.
Broom isn't a great name as well. So, for instance, there are a lot of things that we've got to teach you, like fancy words like the masquerade and all the rules that come along with it. I'm not so worried about the rules. But, I mean, if you're going to have to pick a name, it's got to be better than broom. So the first thing that I learned was that I was a child of Malkav.
This is
Which is a
first
pretty good...
time anybody in this car is probably hearing that for sure.
Is Malkav nice?
He's all right. He's bad at communicating sometimes, but he's...
Maybe
nice
I'm a
guy.
child of Malkav. I'm not very
Well-
good at communicating.
Okay. You know, I'm a Ventru. That's what we call milkshakes like me. That's my flavor.
You're a nice milkshake.
I try to be, honey. Trust me, it's not the first time a man said that to me. Elspeth, would you like to tell David your flavor?
Well, we now call ourselves Hecata.
Why, you were called something before.
Yeah. And then we kind of like rebranded, merged with a bunch of other people,
I guess
apparently.
much like you, things changed. You changed.
Maybe-
David, a new name.
Maybe I'm more like you than not, because I think I was something before I am me.
That's you can really take any identity you want and
No. I don't know how I know Annika, but I know Annika painfully.
You know, sometimes, depending on how it was, there are times in a kindred's life and a milkshake's life where, you know, we can, sometimes memories are exchanged. They're left behind like footprints in sand. I am no expert at this. Not the way, say, I'm sure Elspeth or Annika, or probably even Leon is more than me. But what I can tell you is sometimes because of the way we are born, we as milkshakes are created, sometimes we get imprints of things left behind, of things before. That's actually true for any living creature, right? We're all a combination of the things that came before us.
Why am I only remembering these things and not remembering the important things?
Well, honey, sometimes the things we think are important actually aren't, and the things that we think aren't important actually are.
I know that there's a man in a bar in Dorchester. Every Thursday night at 7, he will have 2 beers and he will eat an entire bag of red vines. I don't know how I know that.
Okay, well, that's very specific. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you because we're friends, right? That's what we decided. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why that is, David. I don't know that anybody in this car knows why that is. But it doesn't mean we're not gonna help you figure it out, yeah?
Why am I
have a,
why am I bigger than you? Leon, I'm bigger than you. I have wings and I know that I'm different than you, but I don't know why.
I mean, we don't have the answer to that, but I'm more than willing to help you find it out.
You know how I said we are a combination of the things and the people that came before us? Well, what if whatever came before yous, that you're a part of, it was big? You know, there are men in this world that are big. Have you seen the governor of California?
I don't think so.
I know that you haven't, but I think what I'm saying, kid, is you're not the only tall fella in the world.
But I'm made of stone and I have wings.
Now
Janet.
that is unique about you, but you're also not the only creature in history that's got wings.
And I don't know why. And like David sort of pulls at a cord that's been turned around on his neck, and he whips it around under the hair, and there is a small glass jar that a hemp cord has been tied to, and inside is the heads of 2 dandelions.
Okay,
Who
so
gave
you're a
you
little
that?
nostalgic.
I don't know. And I know that it's very important, but I don't know why.
Okay. Well,
So another
if it's
question we got to
important-
answer.
David, it seems like a lot of this is stressing you out. It's not making you happy. And
I don't think it is. I think it's stressing you all out. I am
not
completely
stressed.
fine being concerned with nothing. I don't like wearing clothes, and I don't mind shakes now that I know how to enjoy a shake. And I like birds, and I don't know why Marcus wants to hurt me.
Okay,
It doesn't bother me. It seems like it bothers you.
can we, honey? I'm not bothered. I've seen some things in my life, and trust me, you're not the scariest.
We're not bothered.
But that doesn't mean we don't care.
Then why do I feel like Elspeth has to babysit me?
You know, when my twin boys was growing up, they used to say all the time that they didn't need a babysitter. They were real mean to me, but what they meant was they were gaining some independence. Yeah. But that did not make me their mother. It didn't not make me responsible for their well-being. What if Elspeth just cares about your well-being?
She nods.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I like being around all of you.
Well, that's good. You know, because we like you too, David. And I know that things are new, but you need friends to help keep you safe sometimes. And I promise you, we want to keep you safe.
I like that.
So, can I ask you another question, David? Not to overwhelm you or nothing.
Please. I'm learning so much.
Who is this Marcus to you?
I think Marcus made me.
You think he's your creator?
I don't think he was alone. But I think Marcus made me.
What if I told you I think something different?
I don't think Marcus is that smart.
Oh, Janet cuts eyes to you through like the rear view mirror glass piece, knowing that is absolutely the reason why, but she doesn't want to tell David that, so she kind of cuts you the mom eyes in the mirror, and she's like, I think he lacks the power to actually craft something as extraordinary as you, David.
I don't know. I think that he's playing with things that he doesn't understand, like me.
You know, I actually agree with that, David. I think that Marcus is in trouble.
I think so too.
Do you want us to help Marcus?
Marcus lied to me, but I don't want him to be hurt.
Why would he be hurt?
Because if I don't go back, then the others like us might hurt him.
But if you go back, you get hurt.
I understand.
What if I was to maybe help Marcus?
I think Marcus needs money, and I don't have any money.
Well, honey, if there's one thing Janet has, other than sass and class, it's money.
But why would you help Marcus?
I wouldn't be helping Marcus. I'd be helping you.
But what did I do to deserve that?
Honey, you didn't do nothing to deserve it. You don't have to deserve kindness. I'm a firm believer that even in my weird life, everybody deserves kindness. At least at some point in their life. And since yours is only 48 hours old, sounds like this is your first chance.
I think David has his first moment of like real question. There's like a pause before he like touches Elle's shoulder, and with absolute curiosity, not quite in demand, but just in the repose of curiosity. Why would someone want to hurt me?
Well, maybe we can find that out, David. Sometimes, without even knowing, we have enemies. I've heard Annika say that sometimes. And maybe you have that too. We just don't know who or what that is yet.
Am I going to make trouble for all of you?
No. And I'll tell you why. You are damn near about the most interesting thing that's happened to Boston since I have become a vampire.
Okay, so 6 months?
Well, I'm not going to pretend like I'm all-knowing. Boston was pretty interesting before. You've made it a whole playground. And I think that there's going to be a lot of difficult things that we have to deal with. And I mean we, as in everyone in this car and Betty, you included. But that is going to make life much more interesting.
So we're headed to take Leon home, but I'm going to invite you and Elspeth to come stay at my place, yeah?
But not Betty.
Betty's flavor of milkshake does not allow her to sleep in the same place every night. So Betty will be back when Betty's ready.
Why does Betty keep making lascivious comments about me?
Lascivious? That's a large word, honey. Where'd you learn that?
I don't know.
There's a moment when she asked that. You truly don't know. But there is a moment when you ask that where you have this weird memory of this morning sun rising and coming through windows on the 4th floor of an office building, and you're sat in a chair in a conference room waiting for everybody, and you're talking to somebody, and you hear the word lascivious come out of your mouth. You don't recognize the voice, but you know it to be yours.
I mean,
I remember.
No, and that's when the memory ends without context.
I just remember a day when the sun kissed my skin.
Oh, okay. So, the before times. Okay. Well, honey, Betty's
She's
flavor.
a dirty old woman.
Okay, Betty's flavor of milkshake is a little bit more radical than the average milkshake. You know what I mean? It's not just vanilla or chocolate. It's vanilla and chocolate. You know what I mean? Betty,
Is it concerning to everyone that I am not clothed?
It definitely makes eye contact hard. Since we're friends, I'm not going to lie to you. But, honey, if you want to be a nudist, you can be a nudist. But I truly could help you out with that. Like, I could actually make you something you want to wear. Something you choose.
We do want you to be comfortable, but sometimes we can do things that make people, like my sire, her face makes people uncomfortable, so she wears a veil.
It doesn't. Annika's face makes me remember, and she's the first person that hasn't looked at me like an object.
Hey, have we looked at you like objects?
I mean, we were a little shocked when we first saw him.
Everybody has a little shell shock. Yeah, okay. I think what I'm trying to say is nobody here sees you as an object, baby. If we did, we would have left you.
I understand. I just want to make life easier. And if it means that I have to wear clothes, then I will.
You know what? Inside the walls of Janet's castle, you don't got to wear a lick of clothes, honey. You can be as free as the little bird you are, huh? But when we go out on the street, we might consider the occasional piece of clothing. Occasionally.
I'll wear clothes.
Okay.
Can I ask for something? Is that too much?
No.
Can I have clay?
Clay? Oh,
Clay.
baby, I'll do you one better. Come on, we're going to go home. We got to drop Leon off first. It's just up here around the block. And I kind of pull around towards the front of Leon's spot. And before he gets out, wait, I'm leaving the car running. And I look at Elspeth. Don't go anywhere. I got to talk.
Anywhere?
I got to talk to Leon about something.
Okay.
Mathis, is where we are right now, is there any kind of like natural, like geological, is there like a cliff face, or is there like large boulders or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
It's not out here.
Or concrete walls?
I mean, concrete wall you can find.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's easy.
They've stepped out of the car.
Oh boy.
Unless Leon wasn't ready to get out.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, and you get out and you see your place is supposed to be closed by now. Your buddy, who doesn't actually like help with this place in any meaningful way, promised he would close it if you would stay out late. And it's not only is it open, but he's like playing League of Legends very clearly through the front window.
Oh yeah, I knew that would happen. That's fine. Well, yeah, David, where you going?
He doesn't say anything. He just steps to the wall, and you can see him sort of like touch the concrete of the wall.
Okay,
And
so if you want to go inside,
He
I
doesn't.
can give you a key.
as you're saying that, he like traces the wall with his hand, and then he presses his thumb into the concrete and starts tracing out a jawline with his thumb
Okay.
into the stone.
We're just going to
Ooh.
let him do that. I'm not stopping him.
Oh, thanks, Janet. Hey, big guy.
He doesn't
What's the
stop.
plan?
Just let it happen. It's like it's like graffiti.
Josh, do you think Leon would step up to kind of like look closer at him to see what's going on with his face?
Oh, absolutely. He's gonna step up next to him, gently put his hand on his shoulder, and try and figure out what's going on.
The golden amber glow of his eyes are completely gone. And this is a point of character here. I have a merit inspired artist. David is often overcome with the urge to sculpt, create, or mold stone. Some would even call it an addiction that he has to satiate. It channels divine fervor into the art. It's from Children of the Blood. And wherever he makes art, it functionally acts as one dot in awe.
You have to expend a rouse check for to create it.
I don't, but I can't finish it. I mean, I can't stop until it's finished.
Gotcha. You can go ahead and make me a dexterity craft check.
Sure.
Leon, you see him. You see what he described. What do you do?
Give me 1 minute. Leon goes inside and gets like a big tarp and like pins it around David. So like it's not this giant gargoyle.
Whatever it is
Oh
fucking
my
gorgeous
god!
because you rolled
8
an insane
successes.
amount of fucking successes. So you're gonna be out there for how long? You think?
I just want to basically create the like origin bossing in the stone, the concrete of Annika's face.
Oh no!
Gotcha. That Elspeth, you would obviously the width he rolled is very obviously her face.
How big is this? Like, is it like a
Probably
wall.
like a mural. Think like you see the brim of the hat. It's probably like 8 feet by like the 5 down. So
Keep in mind, all the while, there's dusted and cracked concrete just accumulating on the floor the longer and longer and longer he goes. This is the wall of your building, Leon, just so you know.
yeah. I can't stop it, so I'm just gonna deal.
Look, honey, we can I can pay for that. Don't worry about it. Just let it happen. I mean, look at it.
Honestly,
it's kind of beautiful.
I mean, I don't hate it. I wish
Destructive
there
kind
wasn't
of way.
that. I wish it wasn't Annika. I wish it wasn't. I was.
Leon,
I mean, as long as the bones are good, you know,
You
like no structural damage.
let's just leave David to his arts and crafts for a second. Come here.
Yeah.
Elspeth, how you handling seeing your Cyrus?
She's a little shocked. But she's also awed by it. So she
Yeah.
kind of just she just like touches it after he finishes.
Yeah.
And, like, this is really great, David.
Until he finishes, he can't
Yeah, he's
even
silent.
fathom thought. It's just
So Janet and Leon step away.
I know you're about to go into your little, like into the Matrix or whatever for, a few nights, a few weeks, however long. I got a suggestion for you, kid. And you can take it or leave it. But as somebody that's dealt with the mob long before I was a kindred, anytime there's a hit out on your life, there are a few key steps you can take to assure, you don't end up with bricks tied to your feet.
Yeah.
You leave a pretty solid footprint in all of that dark web bullshit, yeah? Got a name and a handle and an identity and all that shit?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Usually when there's a hit out on the mob, they got one or two options. They can run for the hills, which doesn't seem like you're interested in. Or they can suss out the bad guy. And they do that by playing dead.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Find yourself a new identity online for a little while. Spread some rumors. Pour water in the ant bed. See who comes to the top. But as whatever your little hacker Leon name is online, I suggest you avoid it for a few days.
That's fine. I've got plenty of alternate accounts. It's not like this is my first rodeo.
Oh,
So
I've no doubt. I guess what I'm saying is your last rodeo, you didn't have Janet on your side.
that is weirdly reassuring.
Now, all of that to be said, I got a big guy back.
Corral the kids.
Yeah, big guy back there. He I have a feeling he's gonna be shacking up at Janet Manor for a hot minute until we find a better place to put him. You know that security that we had put in on the building, to lock all the doors during daylight hours?
Yeah.
We may need to up our security level. And by security, I'm not talking about the technological piece. I think we should, in case there's a problem, we may want to consider some steel doors and the occasional mag lock, you know what I mean?
That's fine. I can find all of that. That's
it's your little project anyways. Just simmer on it. We need to assure that, if something goes wrong and he hunger frenzies, we don't end up with a rabid gargoyle on the streets of Boston.
You don't know that word? That's okay.
Yeah, we don't end up. You're right. We don't end up with
sorry.
with a winged kindred on the streets of Boston.
I think that's a really good idea. You are probably going to be more tactful teaching him the rules than I will. So,
Actually, kid,
I'll see. I have a lot of homework. So
whatever makes you happy. Just know, keep your impact low for a while. Do some digging, but don't let yourself be known. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't want to have to sweep up the dust behind your body.
No, I appreciate your concern. I really do. But I've been through this exact situation several times before. It's just, and I've survived all of them, mostly. So I think...
Says the kindred standing in front of me. Honey, you died once.
No, don't go there, okay?
I think what I'm trying to tell you is, don't underestimate your opponent. You're not dealing with low-level hackers anymore or government spooks. You're dealing with the people who run the government spooks. As for Marcus, I'm going to pay him off and assure he leaves town.
Good. Okay. Well, I was thinking it might be good if I took over his identity anyway, because that would probably make it easier to find out who's trying to kill us.
Precisely.
Or steal David. Maybe they're the same people.
Tomorrow night, I'll
But-
match whatever his contact was offering him. I'm going to suggest he takes all that money and he runs for the hills. And if I see him in town again, I sure do love a barbecue.
He'll get the message. I know his type.
Great.
Look, Janet.
Oh, and your
I'm not
coat. I'll have
worried.
that finished too. I'll get you a new coat.
Oh, that would be nice.
I'll get you a coat.
Don't. Thank you. I'm not worried about the coat. I'm not worried about people tracking me down. I'm not worried about the internet and handles and all of that bullshit. I'm
Mhm.
worried about David's memories because it sounds a lot like what I've been through, except real. So if he starts talking about seeing things that aren't in the past, let me know.
Are you telling me you see the future?
No, it's just how do I put this? Conceptually, he's talking about memories.
From what we can
Some-
tell.
I've never been able to tell the future, but if he needs it, I have techniques to help manage that because I know how distressing it can be.
That's good to know. Though, our little Picasso over here, I have a feeling if we just give him some paper and pencils, he'll tell us everything we need to know.
I hope so. I might talk to my sire about that.
Yeah, same Zeus. Just whatever you do, keep my names out of your mouth, you know? Like I don't.
I wouldn't dare.
Okay. All right, Leon, go get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm before I go, I'm going to follow up to David.
To
and
David, see if he's all
still
done,
in his
yeah.
trance.
He's still going, but he's almost done.
David, honey, it's looking real good. Are you almost finished? We need to go to the house.
He's silent until he finishes it.
Great.
He's close. But while you linger out there, our camera will follow Leon as he's like, all right, well, hopefully he's almost done soon. But you walk in the front of your store. That guy's finishing up a League of Legends map. You probably match. You probably like half wave at him and then go out into the back. And as you're preparing to wrap your night up, you see your computer's on where you left it. But there seems to be it's open to one of the few forums on the dark web that you tend to frequent. And in particular, you have a little ping notification of a message.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tap the button to go to the message.
It is from a name you do not recognize. I will give you the name in Discord. If you want to share, it's up to you.
Sure. This isn't
That's a screen name.
Magpie.
What was that?
This isn't Magpie.
No. This is another name, a name you've never seen before. That screen name pops up as having sent you a message. And when you open it, you see it's not text, it's a file. Well, it's a few files.
Okay. Sisyphus Redux.
And I imagine
What do you want?
you probably check them before you even open them. You can go ahead and make me an intelligence technology check.
Yeah, quickly. Boop.
Yeah, you
Seven.
The files are clean. You run your fair checks, and you actually just notice it's 3 files in particular. If I assume you open them after verifying they're clean without any viruses, and when you do, you see they're just pictures, pretty low resolution, but pictures nonetheless that you can make out, and they're not of anywhere you immediately recognize. But it takes you a moment when you realize they are on obviously streets of Boston, but they're very particularly of your car driving and the van driving. 2 photos are of your car in particular. 1 photo is of the van. The van photo looks extraordinarily recent.
You mean Elspeth's van?
And then your car, Leon, separately in the first 2 photos. On roads that are not anywhere near or like around like Janet's home or the store, they seem to be on random streets. You couldn't place, other than the fact that
Just
Elspeth's
like-
van is new and is newer, it would be very difficult for you to place when these were taken.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So it's just like between here and Salem kind of stuff.
Look, pretty much, other
Yeah.
than but it's very much your vehicle.
Okay.
And when you're, though maybe curiosity's piqued or satisfied, you realize that there's an option for you to click over to another file, even though there is no other file attached.
Okay.
Do you click?
I click on it.
And when you click, the picture of the van in front of you quickly kind of like a screen tearing, glitches, pushes to the side. Part of it pixelates. The other part of it seems to just go missing while another part of it blows out in color. And it sits there for a minute and you think maybe your monitor got fucked. But after that thought comes to, it dissipates. Instead of seeing a picture taken, from on a camera sent to you, you are seeing an image. But it doesn't seem to be being directly given to you via your monitor, but that's the frame in which it stays. And what you see is wits awareness, please.
Oh, God, okay. I'm going to rouse for this one.
Fair enough. What were your, what'd you roll? Let me know what you rolled, rather, when you're done.
5.
Wow, nice. What you see is on the left, it's not super defined, but you can make out a very clear, sturdy, circular, long cylinder case with a padlock opened but dangling from it. But most of what you see is a piece of, not paper, but parchment. The exact details of what's on the parchment, anytime you attempt to focus on it, sometimes they change, sometimes they vanish. It's very difficult to get the words to even sit still on the page when you look at it. But the imagery is still enough that you can take at least a majority of it away. It's a brittle, like I said, yellow parchment that's being lit by a candlelight or something dim in orange. Again, it's a still image and you don't have anything outside of the zoom in on this and the container case. But in the center of this kind of flaked image, and the paper, the parchment itself, of course, is like torn at the edges. Pieces of it are already missing, having been worn away by age. It looks ancient to you. And on the center of it, what you see is a pretty clearly depicted, maybe Corinthian, maybe Ionic pillar that stands kind of right in the center. What would otherwise be perfectly looking if it wasn't for the fact that the pillar in this depiction is shattered. Jagged lines across its body sit. The base is cracked. The capital top is utterly destroyed and fallen to both sides. But there is still the detail is painful and excruciating even in its destruction. You catch glimpses of what seems to be some sort of scaled creature, but a lot of it is missing because of the torn pages. But the few scales that you do see are also drawn in exceptional detail. And there's one little word that you can make out, or not one little word, part of a phrase that you can make out that you cannot, it is clearly not finished as it's mostly missing. I'll give it to you in Discord again. This is the only thing you could see on the piece of paper. And as you kind of clock all of this, and you maybe there's a look, we kind of cut to see a look of confusion on Leon's face. The image glitches and it goes back to that final image of the van. Maybe he blinks and he rubs his eyes. And just as he's about to say something along the lines of what the fuck, we cut to black. And we will end the episode there. Thank you all so much for being here for episode 3 of This in Providence. It's
Boy,
good
howdy.
to get all the players back together now, finally. Now we got
Boy,
Bub
howdy.
back, we got David in. It's good stuff. We've got an after show to go do.
Yeah, we got to go knock out this after show. After shows are coming to Patreon. We'll have episode 1, 2, and 3 dropping all at the same time next week. So get caught up, and you can come grab those first, I guess, really 2 after shows because we did 1 and 2 together. But yeah. Thank you for those gifted subs. Thank you for everybody that tuned in today, and we will see you all next week. We will see you all next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone.